Week number 8 of the high school football season. This is High School Football Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. John Holder with you on a Football Friday night. Our entire hard-working team. We will be with you until past midnight tonight with all the high school scores, highlights, everything you need to know about high school football coming up on High School Football Alabama's After the Game on this Football Friday night. We are immediately, right now, going to jump into all the scores across East Alabama and around the state as we go to our USA Softball of Alabama scoreboard. We'll begin tonight with homecoming at the Field of Champions in Piedmont. The Bulldogs are reigning Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week, and they made it stand up. They were down to Glencoe early, but they scored a lot of points after that. And Piedmont tonight with a happy homecoming as they beat Glencoe tonight 58-12. We'll have highlights of that game coming from the Field of Champions in Piedmont. How about this game tonight? White Plains, not a shock that they won the game at Cleburne County tonight, but the way they won the game. White Plains pulls away with a 34-0 second half. Cleburne County led this game 10-7 at halftime. And what do you know? 34 unanswered points by the folks from White Plains, and White Plains wins the game over Cleburne County by a score of 41-10. White Plains 41, Cleburne County 10. We will have highlights of that game coming from the pit over at Heflin later on in the show. Also, still looking for a final, Donahoe and Talladega County Central playing tonight. Donahoe looking for their first win down at Howell Cove. We are still looking for a final on that game from TCC tonight. This game, our crew was at this game for the first half, and this was a thriller. Basically, for all intents and purposes, pretty much, this may have been the Class 3A Region 4 title game. Walter Welborn down 12-0 early. They outscore Randolph County 30-13 the rest of the way, including the game-winning touchdown with 2 seconds to go in the game. Welborn scores with 2 seconds to go in the game. They get a 2-point conversion, and Walter Welborn wins at Randolph County tonight 30-25. Highlights of that game coming from Hugh and Humphrey Stadium down in Wedowee. Huge win for Walter Welborn. Big win for the Weaver Bearcats. We will be joined by the head coach of the Weaver Bearcats, Ken Kofer. Weaver tonight wins their 3rd game of the year out at Bill Bryan Stadium as they beat next-door neighbor arch rival Sacs 41-25. We'll have highlights of that game coming up here on After the Game. Hoax Bluff tonight. An impressive win. This was a close game. Hoax Bluff pulls away in the second half, and Hoax Bluff beats Ohatchee 35-6 tonight over at Hoax Bluff. We will have highlights of that game coming on After the Game. Leeds and Alexandria. Leeds, the number 9 team in the state, still smarting from that loss last week to Southside. Back home at Homer Smiles Field in Leeds. Leeds tonight beats Alexandria 48-14 as the Valley Cubs fall to 0-8. Jacksonville tonight, the number 7 team in 4A, the Golden Eagles, playing at Munford tonight, and they continue to roll. Jacksonville averaging 45 points a game. That average is going to go higher. Jacksonville beat Munford tonight 58-14, the final from Munford. Jacksonville Christian, they continue to roll undefeated 8-0. They wrapped up a Christian Football Association playoff berth. They beat Cornerstone Christian out of Rainsville tonight at Tommy Miller Field in Jacksonville 46-7. The JCA cheerleaders will join us live right here on After the Game. Spring Garden tonight. An impressive win. The Panthers getting some injured players back this week, and they make that stand up. Spring Garden, this was a close game, 14-7 at one point in time, but Spring Garden rolling over Pleasant Valley tonight out at the Garden 39-14. Isabella and Ranburne, great game over in Chilton County. Ranburne, a great effort against Isabella, but Isabella wins a close one, 29-25 over the Ranburne Bulldogs. Isabella 29, Ranburne 25. Vincent tonight, they take care of the Woodland Bobcats over at Vincent. Vincent wins the game 41-7. Last night, Mary Dumas Stadium in Talladega. Talladega and Handley. Handley, the number 6 team in Class 4A. No problems with Talladega. They beat the Tigers by a score of 51-13. Tonight, Wadley wins at Pell City against Victory Christian. Wadley, the number 7 team in 1A. They've never lost a victory, and they did not lose tonight. 12-0 now. Wadley, the Bulldogs, beat the Victory Christian Lions 34-0. Central Clay County was up 42-0 at halftime against Sylacauga. They had 8-minute running clocks in the second half. Central Clay County makes quick work of Sylacauga. Clay Central remains undefeated. Sylacauga remains winless. The Vols have never lost to Sylacauga, now 10-0. Clay Central wins the game 48-0 over the Sylacauga Aggies. B.B. Comer, this score just coming in, playing at home at Legion Stadium in Sylacauga tonight. The number 1 team in Class 2A, B.B. Comer, remains undefeated 8-0 as they beat the Thorsby Rebels tonight 35-13. Fayetteville wins at Farm Links Field in Fayetteville tonight as they take care of Central of Coosa County 50-8. Fayetteville 50, Central of Coosa 8. This was a bit of an upset maybe. Beulah comes into John Cox Stadium in Childersburg, and they beat Childersburg 26-16. Beulah 26, Childersburg 16. Kind of shaking things up there at the bottom of that region in Class 3A, Region 4. Winterboro and Ragland still looking for a final score on that game from down at Winterboro. Lincoln and Springville tonight. That game being played at Lincoln. No final score in the game, but Springville was up big 31-6 in the second half at Lincoln. Not a final, but Springville winning big. Pell City had the lead. They've had the lead in most of their games this year, but Shades Valley closes it out with a win over Pell City. Shades Valley 24, Pell City 21 tonight at Pete Rich Alumni Stadium in Pell City. Last night, the number 5 team in the state in 5A, the Moody Blue Devils at home. They beat arch rival St. Clair County 60-0 to move to 7-1, and they are undefeated in the state of Alabama. Good Hope and Asheville tonight, playing in Coleman County at Good Hope. Good Hope wins the game over the Asheville Bulldogs 41-13. Fife having no problem with Sandrock. The Red Devils, the number 4 team in the state in Class 2A. They win tonight up at Paul Benefield Stadium. They beat Sandrock 47-0, beating the Wildcats 11 straight times now. Cherokee County, the number 2 team in 4A. They remain undefeated, winning tonight in center at Bobby Joe Johnson Field as they beat a good Fultondale team 35-0 tonight. This game, believe it or not, is still going on. It should be getting close to being over, but Coosa Christian handling Cedar Bluff 66-7 late in the fourth quarter over in Gadsden. Coosa Christian, even though they're 1-5, that's because of forfeits. The number 9 team in the state in Class 1A, winning big over Cedar Bluff tonight. Cleveland comes into Shinbone Ridge at Gaston. They beat the Gaston Bulldogs tonight 28-8 to pick up their first win of the year. The Panthers winning over the Bulldogs 28-8 last night. And we will have highlights of this game coming on after the game a little bit later on. Geraldine and Westbrook Christian playing in Rainbow City last night. Geraldine breaks open a close game. It was close until the fourth quarter. Geraldine dominates the fourth quarter. They beat Westbrook Christian last night 30-7. Highlights of that game on the way. Gadsden City and May Jemison. This game has just gone final, and Gadsden City remains undefeated in Class 6A Region 8 play. The Titans at home tonight at Titan Stadium, beating May Jemison out of Huntsville, coached by former Anniston coach Rico White. Gadsden City beats May Jemison 42-13. The Etowah Blue Devils, a huge win on the road in Coleman County at Hansville tonight as the Blue Devils beat the Bulldogs 49-14. Etowah 49, Hansville 14, the final. West End tonight gets a win at Holly Pond. They beat the Broncos, a region win there for Coach Derek Sewell and the Patriots. Patriots West End 44, Holly Pond 24. Scottsboro comes into the Lions Den at Sardis. They beat the Lions in a huge matchup in Class 5A Region 7. Scottsboro wins the game 41-21. Scottsboro 41, Sardis 21. Some games around the state. The big game in 1A tonight was down in Elba. Number 2 Elba behind Alvin Henderson. They remain undefeated 7-0 as they beat number 8 Georgiana 38-6. In Class 3A, this score just coming in, defending Class 3A state champion St. James playing their crosstown rivals there in Montgomery. Trinity Presbyterian. St. James wins over Trinity 47-8. A bit of an upset, not a big upset, but this was the big game in 6A tonight in Jefferson County. Number 6 Parker, the Thundering Herd, beating number 5 Mountain Brook at Mountain Brook 13-10. Parker 13, Mountain Brook 10, the final. 3 big games involving state-ranked teams playing each other in Class 7A. Mary Montgomery, number 6 and 7A, they go into Mobile. They beat the Baker Hornets tonight 35-14. Also in Metro Birmingham, an impressive win by Hewitt-Trussville. The Huskies win over number 5 Vestavia Hills at Thompson-Reynolds Stadium in Vestavia. 55-27 the final score. And Dothan and Enterprise, the 2 big boys of Southeast Alabama football in the Wiregrass, played tonight at Enterprise. Number 9 Dothan, they go in and they beat Enterprise tonight by a score of 21-14. That's our USA Softball of Alabama scoreboard. John Holder back with you on this Football Friday night. Let's tell you about Noble Bank and Trust. We'll have a lot of special guests coming in our Noble Bank and Trust post-game presser a little bit later on. And Noble Bank and Trust, community hometown banking. What's that mean? Well, that means you are a person, a face, a name when you walk into any of their branches here in East Alabama. They even have a branch over at the Summit in Birmingham. You're more than an locally back to their communities more than any bank their size. High tech and high touch. They offer all the same technology that the big banks do, but also offer that hometown customer service. Noble Bank and Trust bringing you our post-game presser every Friday night with our interviews here on After the Game, live from the RMC Media Center here at Parker Memorial Baptist Church on Quintard Avenue in Midtown Anniston. When we come back, we've got cheerleaders, we've got coaches, we've got you name it coming up. Highlights, everything happening here on High School Football Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number. You're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
After 15 years of supplying top quality, name brand sports equipment and team apparel to hundreds of Alabama schools, coaches, and athletes, and continuing to provide custom uniforms, embroidery, and screen printing, Team Sports is adding a new player. Coming soon, McClellan Sports and Outdoors. Whether you're an athlete in search of football helmets, bats, or even cleats, or an outdoor enthusiast in search of apparel from top brands, McClellan Sports and Outdoors has you covered. Visit McClellansports.com for more information.
My dad taught me to fish right here years ago. But when an old sports injury started slowing him down, I knew we'd need to search for the latest procedures in knee and hip replacement. With physical therapy tailored to his needs, a dedicated team of doctors and nurses, and he'd want a fast recovery time. So where'd he find all that?
Right here at RMC.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at PeeWeeTurnerMotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
I love it when we have cheerleaders in the house. The Jacksonville Christian Academy Thunder cheerleaders with us, fresh off their big win tonight over Cornerstone Christian out of Rainsville, 46-7. Ladies, to remain undefeated, how about that? Are you excited about the undefeated season? We will have more from the JCA cheerleaders in just a few moments here on After the Game. Back on After the Game, high school football, Alabama, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. Let me tell you about the fine folks at Ted's Floors and Beyond, bringing you Team of the Week. We were at Piedmont today. Sheldon and Gracie were with us, presenting our Team of the Week trophy and shirts, our Aston Orthopedics score shirts to the Piedmont Bulldogs, our reigning Team of the Week. We'll have that announcement coming back up in just a few moments. About midnight tonight, we'll have our announcement of our Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week. They now offer cabinets from Welborn Cabinet. They're your home for a complete kitchen or bathroom makeover. 0% interest financing for 12 months, all day, every day. Free in-home estimates as well. I've had that before. They do a great job. You can follow them on social media and also visit shopteds.com. Another final score that we've got coming for you in an update. This is now a final. Ragland tonight has beaten Winterboro 46-26 down at Winterboro. That's a key game in Class 1A Region 6 tonight. That is now a final, and we'll update you. This is not a final yet. Coosa Christian leading Cedar Bluff 80-7 over in Gadsden at Philip Ellen Field. That is, I did not misspeak. That is 80-7. Coosa Christian playing their first game since they were handed the forfeit losses that they had a couple of weeks ago. And 80-7 now, they're leading Cedar Bluff. That is very late in the game over in Gadsden. We mentioned Team of the Week. We were at the Field of Champions at Piedmont, homecoming tonight. Piedmont taking on Glencoe. But we were there to present the awards to remember, Tough Guy Trophy. See the Bulldogs right there. We had the Ted's t-shirts and, of course, those Aniston Orthopedic score shirts as well. Piedmont had that big win last week at home against Westbrook Christian. Big for a variety of reasons as they beat Westbrook last week 35-19. You see that huge crowd, the whole community coming out. There's Sheldon and myself, Sheldon from Ted's Floors and Beyond. There's our after the game shirt. There's the back of it. Piedmont 35, Westbrook Christian 13. You see how excited the players were to get that score shirt. There's Sheldon and Ragland from Ted's Floors and Beyond, presenting the captains of the Piedmont Bulldogs with the Tough Guy Trophy. And coming up in an hour and a half, something like that, toward the end of the show, we will announce this week's Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week. Right now, we're going to open up the voting in about an hour and 40 minutes for our Farmers and Merchants Bank Spirit Scholarship. We've got 3 more schools that you can begin voting for at midnight tonight, all the way through 12 noon next Friday, October 20th. We've got 19 schools. 19 schools this year. Every school in Calhoun and Cherokee counties for the $1,500 scholarship. $1,500 for a male student athlete, $1,500 for a male and female student athlete. We're going to have $3,000 in scholarships, plus we've got 38 student athletes that are each going to get a $50 gift card if they make the final 38. We're narrowing it down from 76 to 38. So right now, we want to meet the contestants for this week, the student athlete nominees from all of these schools. I think we're going to begin with the Galesville Trojans. You see Sydney Smith, volleyball, basketball, and softball player with a 3.8 GPA. Also from the Galesville Trojans, Gabrielle West, a volleyball and cheerleader, player, a 3.87 GPA. The two male student athletes from Galesville, we've got Kyler Bradley, a football, basketball, and baseball star with a 3.4 GPA. And also from Galesville, Braden Sharp, a football, basketball, and baseball player as well with a 3.75 GPA. So those are the nominees from Galesville. We also have the Sachs High School Wildcats with nominees this week. Their female nominees are Jayana Cobb, a soccer player with a 3.08 GPA. Also, the other female from Sachs is Olivia Wills, a volleyball player with a 3.7 GPA. Also, two male athletes representing Sachs High School that you can vote for. Mario Curry, a football and track athlete with a 3.9 GPA. And also, we have Elijah Garrett, a football and track athlete as well, with a 3.7 GPA. Now, we also have Jacksonville High School this week being represented, and we've got two female nominees from Jacksonville. JC Champion, a volleyball player with a 3.94 GPA. The other female from Jacksonville is Rihanna Matthews, a track and field athlete with a perfect 4.0 GPA. The two male athletes representing Jacksonville High School, baseball player Matthew Parker with a 3.46 GPA, and also Gavin Peeler. He is a football and baseball player with a 3.79 GPA. You can go and see the folks there at all these athletes. You can vote for them beginning at midnight tonight. Go to our Facebook page at High School Football Alabama. Go to the Facebook page beginning at midnight tonight, and basically you just look at that post. You like the student athlete that you want to vote for. You just like their picture. That's the way that you vote. You can do that all the way through next Friday at 12 noon. We're going to narrow this down from 76 to 38. Then the final 38, there'll be one big vote. This is a total fan vote for the $1,500 scholarship for the female athlete and the $1,500 scholarship for the male athlete. And then we will present those checks from F&M Bank right here on After the Game in November. Speaking of Farmers and Merchants Bank, great folks. They have given out over the last several years $24,000, folks, in scholarship money to student athletes. All of that right here in East Alabama. They have offices in Jacksonville, Piedmont, Anniston, Oxford, and they just opened up just a couple of months ago their brand new office in Center. That's why we are including all the schools in Cherokee County, including Cherokee County, Spring Garden, Galesville, Cedar Bluff, and Sandrock, in addition to all the schools in Calhoun County as well. Farmers and Merchants Bank bringing you our Player of the Week. We'll see that a little bit later on. And we'll also have, of course, our Spirit Scholarship winners a little bit later on coming up in the month of November. Time for our first extra point of the night, presented by Red Threads on the Square in Jacksonville. And our first Red Threads extra point of the night, I think we're going to go to that, in Geraldine's 30-7 win over Westbrook Christian last night. And we're going to see this play, folks. 5'7", 150-pound eighth grader John Beck Wade returned an interception 102 yards for a touchdown. It is the fifth longest interception return in AHSAA history. Wade had a total of 3 interceptions in the win over the Warriors, and I think we're going to see all 3 of them in our highlights package from the game over in Rainbow City last night. We promised you folks a whole lot more from the Jacksonville Christian Thunder cheerleaders. I'm going to say it again, the undefeated Jacksonville Christian Thunder. They had a lot to be happy about as their team won over Cornerstone 46-7, and they've been very kind to join us here at the RMC Media Center at Parker Memorial Baptist Church on Quintard Avenue in Anniston. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, the JCA Thunder cheerleaders.
The Coosa Valley, on the banks of the Coosa River in Gadsden, Alabama. Fishing, boating, and paddling, and home team Chevrolet. Team One Chevy has been serving generations for years. Even the grandkids are grown. Come by and see why so many people come back to Team One Chevy in Gadsden.
Home of the best people, the best service, period.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch. The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated to what moves you.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welberg Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
We live in a world that moves quickly, and while we are able to connect faster than ever through technology, maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect, a place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life, a place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ, a place to use the gifts and talents God has given you, a place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Aniston. Visit our website for details.
Approaching 10:30 here at High School Football Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. John Holder, Coach Michael Short, Chad Barnett, our entire hard-working team with you all the way until beyond midnight tonight with all the scores and highlights and information you need about high school football. Tell you about Pee Wee Turner Motors. It all began back in 1969 on South Quintard in Aniston. And now we're sitting here 54 years later, thousands of satisfied customers, still going strong, selling quality late model vehicles. Not only that, you can rent a car, Penske moving truck, or a Cruise America RV for that fun getaway. Give them a call, 237-4649, or visit them at 512 South Quintard Avenue in Aniston. Pee Wee Turner Motors bringing you High School Football Alabama's After the Game. We've got all the final scores now, including one that's, I don't know if I've ever given a score this big before, that we're about to give to you, and we're searching for the state records right now on this one. I think you can guess which one it is. We're going to take you right back now to our scoreboard. It's our USA Softball of Alabama scoreboard. Let's go back to that. Piedmont tonight. Again, we'll have highlights of this game coming. They beat Glencoe 58-12. Happy homecoming for the Bulldogs tonight up at the Field of Champions in Piedmont. White Plains over Cleburne County 41-10. We'll have highlights of this game from over at the pit in Heflin. This is a new score, one we've been looking for all night. Great game down at Howells Cove tonight at Alumni Stadium. Talladega County Central beats Donahoe. TCC has now won 2 games this year. 23-21 TCC over Donahoe. Great game. We'll have highlights of this game. Randolph County was up 12-0, and it looked like it was going to go even more than that, but Walter Welborn, we'll talk about this game and where it turned. They come back, and they outscore Randolph County 30-13 the rest of the way. We'll have highlights of this game. Walter Welborn wins it with 2 seconds to go in the game. They score the game-winning touchdown and 2-point conversion. They were down 25-22. They beat Randolph County. They now have not wrapped it up. Our guest tonight, Ken Kofer from the Weaver Bearcats, they'll have something to say about that next week when they come to the Hill at Walter Welborn. But a big win for Welborn tonight as they beat Randolph County 30-25. Head coach of the Weaver Bearcats, Ken Kofer, will be with us tonight. Weaver, a winner over Sachs tonight. Weaver's won 3 football games. We'll have highlights of this game coming from Bill Bryan Stadium at Weaver, where it was Weaver over Sachs 41-25. Hoax Bluff, a winner over Ohatchee. We'll have highlights of this game as well. Hoax Bluff, this was a close game, but Hoax Bluff pulls away in the second half, and that is a big win for Mike Robertson and the Hoax Bluff Eagles as they beat Ohatchee 35-6. Leeds beats Alexandria tonight, number 9 team in the state in 5A. They were smarting a little bit after that loss to Southside last week. Back at home, they beat Alexandria. Valley Cubs remain winless. Leeds wins the game 48-14. Jacksonville averaging 45 points a game. That offense continues to roll tonight at Munford, 58-14. Number 7 Jacksonville in 4A play beating Munford tonight down at Munford Stadium. You just saw the Jacksonville Christian Thunder. Why were those young ladies so happy? Well, why not? They beat Cornerstone Christian out of Rainsville tonight, 46-7. The Thunder now 8-0, undefeated, headed for the Christian Football Association playoffs in a couple of weeks. Spring Garden tonight, maybe their biggest win of the year. I know Pleasant Valley's got a lot of injuries, but Spring Garden tonight probably playing their most complete game of the year at home at Jason Howard Field, beating Pleasant Valley 39-14. Ranburne, great effort tonight at Isabella. That's a good football team, and Ranburne hung in there all the way to the end. Isabella wins it 29-25. Vincent beats Woodland tonight 41-7 over at Vincent. Last night, Hanley a winner over Talladega 51-13. Tonight, Wadley continues to roll. They win at Victory Christian 34-0. 8-minute quarters with a running clock in the second half. That's what it was down at Clay Central. It was 42-0 at halftime. Number 3, Clay Central beating Sylacauga 48-0. 7-0 are the Volunteers. The Aggies fall to 0-8, and the Vols have never lost to Sylacauga, now 10-0. Number 1, B.B. Comer at Legion Stadium in Sylacauga tonight, beating a good Thorsby team. B.B. Comer's just good, y'all. B.B. Comer beats Thorsby tonight 35-13. Fayetteville, an impressive win tonight over Central of Coosa down at Farm Links Field in Fayetteville 50-8. Bit of an upset here. Beulah comes into Childersburg. They beat the Tigers tonight at John Cox Stadium 26-16 tonight. Ragland takes care of business. They got a big showdown in a couple weeks coming with Spring Garden, probably for home field advantage in Class 1A Region 6. Ragland goes to Winterboro tonight. They win 46-26. Lincoln and Springville got this final in. Springville, one of the more improved football teams in all of our region. Springville tonight beats Lincoln 38-20. Shades Valley and Pell City. Listen, Pell City has had the lead in virtually every game except maybe one that they played this year. Pell City had the lead tonight, but Shades Valley wins it 24-21 down at Pete Rich Alumni Stadium at Pell City. Last night, Moody, number 5 team in the state in Class 5A, routing St. Clair County 60-0. Good Hope tonight, a winner over the Asheville Bulldogs 41-13. Fife, no problem at home tonight. The number 4 Red Devils at Paul Benefield Stadium, shutting out Sandrock 47-0. The 11th straight win over Sandrock for Fife. Cherokee County, number 2 team in the state in 4A. No problems with Fultondale tonight, 35-0 up in center. Here it is, folks. This is not a misprint. Sometimes we have typos. This is not a typo. Number 9 Coosa Christian. They have not played in 2 weeks. They had a forfeit win a couple of weeks ago over Heritage Academy out of Mississippi. They had an open date last week. This is the first game they played since they had to forfeit the games. They played tonight in Gadsden at Philip Ellen Field. Number 9 Coosa Christian beat Cedar Bluff 94-7. We are looking in the AHSA record books right now. We know this is going to be pretty high all-time in state history. It's not the all-time state, I can tell you that. I think that's Langdale back in the day, had 122. But Coosa Christian beat Cedar Bluff 94-7 tonight in Gadsden. Cleveland wins against the Gaston Bulldogs out at Shinbone Ridge 28-8 tonight. Last night, we'll have highlights of this game. Geraldine beating Westbrook Christian 30-7. Another, the fifth longest interception return in state history last night in that game. We'll show that to you from that Westbrook and Geraldine game. Gadsden City remains undefeated in Class 6A Region 8 play. They win tonight at Titan Stadium over Mae Jemison and former Anniston head coach Rico White. Gadsden City beats them 42-13. Etowah, probably their most impressive win of the year. They win at Hanceville tonight 49-14. West End, they get a big win at Holly Pond, 44-24. Scottsboro comes in. They handle Sardis tonight, 41-21. Around the state, Alvin Henderson, you remember that name. Junior running back, one of the top running backs in America, playing 1A football at number 2 Elba. Elba tonight at home down on the P River. They beat Georgiana 38-6. Defending 3A state champion St. James beats number 9 Trinity Presbyterian down in Montgomery tonight, 47-8. The Parker Thundering Herd, they go into Mountain Brook, a top 10 matchup in 6A. They beat the Spartans tonight 13-10. Mary Montgomery continues to roll. 8-0 are the Vikings. They go into the west side of Mobile tonight out on Airport Road, and they beat number 7 Baker 35-14. Thompson Reynolds Stadium in Vestavia Hills, Hewitt Trustful has Vestavia's number. 4th win in a row for Hewitt Trustful over Vestavia as number 8 Hewitt beats Vestavia 55-27 tonight. And the big game down in Southeast Alabama, number 9 Dothan beats number 6 Enterprise by a score of 21-14. Before we go to break, we're going to bring in Coach Michael Short, going to join us at this time. Coach Short has been out and about tonight. We're going to show you some video. Special night for Coach Short tonight over at Cleveland County. We're going to talk about that and show you what happened over there. But Coach, just your initial reaction to some of the scores we saw. I think the two big things I think that stood out to me is the win by Walter Wellborn against Randolph County with 2 seconds to go in the game. And on the other end of the spectrum, a game that did not come down to the last 2 seconds, Coosa Christian beating Cedar Bluff 94-7 tonight.
The Coosa Christian score, it's going to be close with Coach Gillespie one time at Lawrence County. Run a lot of trick plays and kind of got in trouble there because he scored in the 80s. I don't think he made it to 90, but he had in the 80s. I think it was 88, so I think that record's okay. I knew the Wellborn in Randolph County game was going to be a doozy. I mean, just knowing what both of them do, they're both well coached, they're both hard-nosed football teams. It comes down to the last second. Is that how you said it ended?
2 seconds to go in the game. Wellborn scores and gets the 2-point conversion. They were down, I think, 25-22, and they scored with 2 seconds. Get the 2-point, win it 30-25.
Wouldn't be surprised to see those two may meet each other again. That wouldn't be a surprise at all.
Could happen. Wellborn still has to beat Weaver. Still has Sachs coming up on the schedule. Weaver's playing some good football. That'll be at the Hill at Walter Wellborn next week. But right now, you got to figure, it's now they're in the driver's seat. They're the only team in the region now that's undefeated in region play.
It's very hard to go into Randolph County and get a win. And that was a huge win for Wellborn to be able to pull that win off at Randolph County when Randolph County's kind of rolling along. That's just a huge win for Jess Smith and the Walter Wellborn Panthers.
We'll show you highlights of that game. A lot of highlights coming up, a lot of things happening, coaches coming in and so forth as we roll on a Football Friday night here on Facebook and YouTube. High School Football Alabama's After the Game presented by the Calhoun County Commission.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch. The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated. Dedicated to what moves you.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
There's a lot to think about when you're having a baby. Colors of the nursery, names, and most importantly, where to deliver.
We want a hospital that gives families a more personalized birthing experience.
With a compassionate team of doctors and nurses, and a hospital where my baby and I can instantly bond with all the comforts of home.
So where do we find all that?
Right here at RMC, the first designated baby-friendly hospital in Alabama.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at peeweeturnermotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change your name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welberg Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
Back on high school football, Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. We are coming to you from the RMC Media Center at Parker Memorial Baptist Church on Quintard Avenue in Anniston. And RMC, great sponsor from the very beginning of high school football, Alabama. And if you're looking for primary care, they've got the right care right here in Anniston, Oxford, Jacksonville, and Roanoke. You can learn more at rmccares.org/family medicine. RMC Health System bringing you the RMC Media Center each and every Friday night from here at Parker Memorial Baptist Church in Anniston. Back on high school football, Alabama's After the Game, joined now by the head coach of the Cleveland County High School Tigers, Coach Joby Burns. Coach, appreciate you coming over and being with us tonight. Tough game tonight with White Plains, 41-10. White Plains wins the game. Coach, we just want to welcome you in. Glad to have you with us here on High School Football Alabama's After the Game.
I appreciate you having me.
Coach, let's talk about the game tonight. This is a White Plains team that had won a game, and they're a lot better football team than they've been. This is a much improved football team, really dangerous football team that came in tonight.
And they did, and they came in and played very, very well and got after us and really just, they whipped us tonight. And, hats off to them. I mean, they had a great game plan, and their players played well and played hard and did the right things. And, good things happen when you do that.
Coach, when you get to week 8 of the season, and I've talked with a bunch of coaches in the last couple of weeks, and everyone tells me, John, we're beat up, we're banged up, we're hurt, we got players out for the season, things like that. Health-wise, how are you guys doing? Y'all in kind of the same situation?
Well, yeah, we're banged up, but I mean, that's not an excuse. I mean, I won't say tonight we probably were a little healthier than we've been. We've been banged up the last few weeks, but yeah, we've got guys with nagging injuries and stuff like that. But like I said, it's no different than everybody else, and you just got to be able to play through it, and you got to be able to overcome those kind of things. But yeah, I mean, we are a little bit, but I'm gonna say tonight we had everybody, for the most part, and yeah, we probably were a little better tonight than we should, than we had been.
Coach, we talk about this a lot. This region, as evidence tonight. Sure. I mean, everybody in this region, top to bottom, this is a good region. You look at your football team. Your football team is still in contention not only for a playoff berth, but I mean, this game tonight, as folks I think know by now, this game tonight didn't count as far as playoffs go because White Plains is totally ineligible and things like that. So you still remain 2-1 in region play, and still I think in a good position to get into the state playoffs. And when you make the state playoffs out of this region, that's saying something when you're in there with the kind of folks that you have to play against every week.
It is. It is. It's a great region. Like I said, like I said, tonight, and just a lot of good football teams in this region, and you've got to be playing well at the right time, and obviously right now we're not playing very good, so hopefully we can get that turned around and get it headed in the right direction, because there's still things out there in front of you, and you just got to keep fighting and keep going, and hopefully it'll make us better.
Absolutely. Coach, tell us about some of the players that have been some of the leaders for you on the team this year. This is I admire, and I know you fall into the same deal there. In this day and time, playing high school football is not the easy choice for a young man to do, because it's a tough sport, and it's tough, and it's a year-round thing now with all the 7-on-7s and things like that. So I know you got some guys that, probably particularly seniors, that have been good leaders for your team. Tell us about some of those guys.
We do. I mean, we've got a lot of guys, and we've got a lot of guys, but a lot of them's playing both ways. We've got a couple guys. I mean, Jake Dingler is playing linebacker and fullback. Nate Adams is playing linebacker and fullback. Those two are two of our better leaders, two of our really good leaders. They've had a good year for us, and we just those two right there really have been really good for us, and we've got some other guys. I mean, of course, Hunter Gore stepped in at quarterback this year. He's battled, and he's given us everything he's got, and we've got a lot of guys that are battling, trying to do things the right way, and good things are going to happen to them.
Absolutely. I was over there a couple of weeks ago at one of your games. One of the things that's always impressive to me about what happens, and Coach Shore, you can step in here and talk about this as well, the tradition at Cleveland County doesn't take a backseat to anyone, and y'all do such a great job of recognizing that tradition. I love the players, coming out on the field when they do. There's this audio that plays, and the voices of all these great players in Cleveland County history that, and even though I've been around here virtually all my life, still when I hear those voices of all these great players, I'm sitting there thinking, gosh, I remember that guy and this guy and this guy. Not all older guys, recent guys as well. You guys do as good a job as anybody in embracing that past at Heflin.
They do. I mean, of course, they do a really good job, and a lot of people they love the place, and it means a lot to them. And as Coach Short, of course, been there for years and years, and he's had a big part in all that. Most of those people that he coached those guys, and he's had a tremendous part of that, and so that's just a testament to the guys that have come before us and have done this, and it is, and they recognize it, and they love it, and it is a special thing.
Yeah, Coach.
It's I want to thank you.
Coach, for folks that don't know, we're going to show this a little bit later on tonight. Coach was honored before the game, 21 years of service there at Cleveland County. And I know he got a plaque there, and some former players and coaches and things like that came along. Great thing that they did. And Coach, I know that literally left you speechless tonight, but the honoring, that's another part of what we're talking about as far as that tradition goes there at Cleveland County.
Yeah, well, again, I just want to thank you for being there and being a part of it, because there is a history there that goes back way beyond me, back to Hawk Swafford, and a lot of that, he speaks on that thing, and there's going to be, they do everything right. They work hard. They do everything you're supposed to do. It's just sometimes it just don't go your way. But those kids that they've got, those seniors they got, are going to be successful one day. Some of the ones you're talking about, they're going to be successful guys. They're going to come back and pat you on the back and tell you thank you for everything you've done for them. Kind of like tonight, I had to leave about the third quarter because I had to go back because we tragically lost one of our 94 players that they talked about tonight during the first quarter, in between quarters. He passed away this summer. A great player of ours. But all those guys are still loving each other, and they come back, and it was just a special night in the pregame. But I just want to thank you and your coaching staff for giving me that opportunity to.
We appreciate you.
Because I still love that school.
I know you do. I know you do. We appreciate you, and you mean so much to it. You've been there and worked it and done it, so yeah, you deserved every bit of it.
Coach, let's talk about the future now. As we talked about, state playoffs certainly still in your future, still battling for that, still got some tough games coming up as you go down the stretch here. So what's the next step in your mind? I know you're sitting there thinking about, okay, heading into next week and the next week and the next week and possibly the state playoffs after that. So you head down the home stretch of the season, kind of what's on your mind? What's your MO right now as you head into these last 4 weeks?
We just got to start playing better. I mean, we've got to start playing with some confidence. We just got to get better. Yeah, if we can make it in the playoffs, that's great, but we want to go in there playing good football and represent this school and the right way in this region, and we just got to get things turned around, and that's what it's about. It's about playing good at the right time, and we've got 3 weeks left in the regular season to turn this around and get going in the right direction, and that's what we're going to do. That's, we're going to come back in Sunday and we're going to get after it, and we're going to work hard and have a good game plan and come out next week and play as best that we can, and we're going to go out and we've just got to get things turned around and start playing better.
Coach, if he wasn't there, if people wasn't there, this ball game was nip and tuck up to halftime, and it's a tip pass here. I couldn't believe all the little tip passes for an interception.
Sure.
Just a lot of little bitty things went wrong. It's not like they're just a massive flood of bad things. It was a little thing here and a little thing here, and we both know all of a sudden that turns the momentum, and it's hard to get it back.
It does, and you've got to give White Plains credit. They made those plays. You know what I mean? I mean, they did. They tipped those passes. They made the plays, and we didn't. But you're right. I mean, you're right to play here or there. But like I said, you've got to give them all the credit in the world because they came in and they made things happen.
A first-class guy right here, Joey Burns, head coach of the Cleveland County Tigers. Coach, we're going to let you go and get started on that preparation for the home stretch of the season. Have a safe trip back to Heflin. Thank you for coming and being with us tonight. One of the good guys in the coaching business right here, Joey Burns, head coach of the Cleveland County Tigers. We'll be back with more of high school football Alabama's After the Game as we roll on this Football Friday night.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
We live in a world that moves quickly, and while we are able to connect faster than ever through technology, maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect, a place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life, a place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ. A place to use the gifts and talents God has given you. A place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Anniston. Visit our website for details.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
After 15 years of supplying top quality, name brand sports equipment and team apparel to hundreds of Alabama schools, coaches, and athletes, and continuing to provide custom uniforms, embroidery, and screen printing, Team Sports is adding a new player. Coming soon, McClellan Sports and Outdoors. Whether you're an athlete in search of football helmets, bats, or even cleats, or an outdoor enthusiast in search of apparel from top brands, McClellan Sports and Outdoors has you covered. Visit McClellansports.com for more information.
The Coosa Valley, on the banks of the Coosa River in Gadsden, Alabama. Fishing, boating, and paddling, and home to Team One Chevrolet. Team One Chevy has been serving generations for years. Even the grandkids are grown. Come by and see why so many people come back to Team One Chevy in Gadsden.
Home of the best people, the best service, period.
Young Oil Grub Mart locations all across East Alabama. They bring you our muscle team. We're going to show you this week's muscle team in just a moment. But let me tell you, they've got a great website right now, grubmart.com. Go there. The Super Saver card they have the Marathon Rewards card. They have an app. They've got jobs available. They sell not only great fuel for your vehicles, but also farm and industrial fuel. And they are all over East Alabama. They've got multiple locations in the Auburn, Opelika area. They're in Center, they're in Southside, they're in Piedmont, they're in Anniston, Alexandria, all across East Alabama. Young Oil Grub Mart, bringing you high school football Alabama's after the game, and also bringing you our muscle team. And our muscle team this week, there they are, wearing those Grub Mart muscle team t-shirts, the Jacksonville offensive line, consisting of Braden Ball, Damari Sigler, Ben Pridgeon, Garrick Strain, Drake Lee, and Jackson Wade. They only rolled up last week in that 63-14 win over Cleveland County, 482 yards of total offense for Jacksonville. The Jacksonville offensive line. Guys, as you know, we bring Coach in and bring Chad Barnett in here for the first time. This is a totally new offensive line at Jacksonville this year. They lost everybody, and these guys, I haven't seen Jacksonville play, but no, Coach, you have, and you have. This offensive line is getting the job done for the Golden Eagles. They're averaging 45 points a game in this tough 4A Region 4.
And you told me they're pretty young, 3 sophomores.
Wow.
That's not bad. Yeah, and that kind of looks like, last year they graduated all of them, and they had come for, that group had played for 3 years. So this group's going to be close to being able to do that. And Coach Ogle's done a great job with them, because I watched them in the preseason, back when everything was hot and they were working. He said, we're a work in progress. But they're very smart and very intelligent, so that had a lot to do with where they're at right now.
Rolling up almost 500 yards last week. Tonight, 58 points at Munford, so I'm sure they had another big night again. Another guy who had a big night tonight was Chad Barnett, because Chad was all over the place. He was in Heflin, and then he was at Weaver tonight, all over the place getting highlights for us. And time now for our first team sports highlights of the night. Chad, you're going to take us out to Bill Bryan Stadium in Weaver. I think one of the most improved teams in East Alabama, the Weaver Bearcats, and they got a big win tonight.
Look good tonight for sure. And what's beautiful about this rivalry is it's about 4 miles to separate Sachs High School from Weaver High School, but nothing is separating them in the region standings, because both teams come in tonight looking for their first region win on the season. Let's go to Bill Bryan Stadium and check out the highlights. It's 18-0 when we get out there. This is the 47th meeting between the two schools that dates back to the 60s. Opening kickoff of the second half, and Sachs going to get a pretty good return here. Going to have a little snafu with the ball security, but they do scoop it and take an extra 10 yards. So they start in good field position on the Weaver side, but they would go to take a shot in the first drive and nearly picked off. Keyshawn Allen, I tell you guys, first time I saw Weaver tonight, that kid's a player. He is good. He showed up a few times tonight. 4th down for the Sachs Wildcats. They're going to go back to the air this time. Going to be incomplete again, just over the shot the receiver. So Weaver's going to take over on offense. But, a little sluggish come out of the halftime locker room. Coach Gopher was on him a little bit, trying to get him to kind of be motivated, but they couldn't get anything going on offense. Sachs would retaliate as they get the ball, good field position. They're going to go up top to Laquan Curry for the score. So now they go for the 2-point conversion, and this is Dorian Walker with a big, strong run into the end zone, 18-8 now. We got a ball game here. Coach is hoping his team can retaliate and get back on the board. And they would answer as they go up top to that man we talked about again, Allen. Beautiful catch, keeps his feet, gets down the line for an 85-yard score. And just like that, Weaver is back on top. And now they go for the two-point conversion. Caden Gooden finds Kirby Barnes for the two-point conversion. Big fella in there getting in the end zone for the 2 points. 26-8 as that lead is stretched back out to what they had at half. And then another mishap by the Sacs Wildcats as Weaver causes a fumble on the first play from scrimmage. You know, this is a bit of a revenge game because Sacs has had a tough time against Weaver Weaver's had a tough time against Sacs for the last little while, averaging 46 points per game in their last 6 losses to Sacs. Allen again with a big first down, and then Gooden is going to take it himself. Beautiful keeper. Turning on the Jets, he gets into the end zone, and Weaver is back on top again, and they would roll tonight as they beat the Sacs Wildcats for the first time in just a minute now. Final score of this one, 41-25.
Guys, there's just no other way to say it. Weaver's just a better football team.
Yeah.
They're just a much improved football team. Athleticism, size, everything you look for when you're looking for a football team. They're just better. Ken Kofor, head coach, is going to join us here a little bit later on in the show and talk about that team. But guys, you know, even the folks that are novices watching high school football, you can tell this is a much better team than the last couple of years.
A much improved team, but I don't know if y'all noticed. Did y'all notice the referee? It was Jimmy Buckaloo.
Oh, yeah. Well, I saw him last week at Peabody.
I was going to say, that here he is out there again. That's the first person I noticed was old Buck, so he's not retired. But, yeah, I was very impressed because I knew their quarterback had speed, and I knew the coach was going to use him, you know, like he's using him now. So he's a threat anytime he touches the ball. And the big boy there that you saw
Allen,
there, he also turned around and caused that fumble, you know, as a defensive end.
Yeah.
So,
and we saw him, he had a few cramping issues. He was all over the field tonight. And on that last play I showed, he cramped pretty bad. After that, they had to pull him from the game. But, you know, they did, when you got Gooden that can scoot like that, kind of make up for his loss on the offensive side.
Well, you got the other guy. When you got 2 guys in the backfield that are threats like that, then the defense has to stay honest, and that opens up other runs. When you have to play the quarterback and he can play, then the defense is just going to be spread out because they have to cover that running quarterback. And that's the extra guy you got.
Absolutely.
That makes it hard on the defense.
Weaver's been competitive in every game. Randolph County, they were competitive. Childersburg, every game they've been in, they've been competitive. That's got to probably worry Jeff Smith of Welborn a little bit because his team had their biggest win tonight in a long time. But now they got to come back down off that cloud and come back home to the hill next week. And guess who's coming to town? This talented Weaver team. Because, guys, as we talked about, Weaver's got some athletes. They've got some guys that if you don't bring your A game on a Friday night, they're to the point now where they're, I'm going to use that word, dangerous. They're a dangerous team to play because of some of the athletes they've got now.
But if anybody can take a team and deflate them real quick, will be Monday over there on the hill. They'll get deflated real quick. That bubble, they got maybe an hour tonight to enjoy that. But he'll deflate that bubble and they'll be ready to go. And that was a big win for him. But yes, he'll have to be ready because Gooden and some of their skilled players will be able to make the kind of plays. But you know, I know what Welborn's going to do. They're going to try to keep that ball away from those guys and not let them have the opportunity to beat them.
You saw a little bit of motivation tonight too. I think that they had felt the effects because they're so close in proximity. You know, the kids grew up playing Little League together, all that kind of stuff. There was some chirping going on. They felt the effects of losing to Sacs a number of years in a row, and they put it on them tonight. And I think they took a little extra satisfaction in that.
The thing that I'm noticing about Weaver, it's not, and when Coach Kofor, it's not going to be the skill. The skilled players are there. It's going to be the culture of the mindset of thinking they can win. Now they've won 3. That's more than they've won in a long time. So, yeah, that's a dangerous group right there because if you get them starting to think they can win, then you're starting to get that part of the culture changed. The physical side is no problem. It's just them thinking they can win. When something bad happens, oh, boy, here it goes again. They're not doing that now. You can see if they had something bad happen, they come back and make something good happen. And that helps when you got good athletes.
Yeah. Weaver a winner tonight over the Sacs Wildcats, 41-25. Head coach of the Weaver Bearcats, Ken Kofor, will join us right here live on After the Game in just a moment. Time for our next extra point of the night, our Red Threads extra point. Guys, check this out. Central Hayneville defeated Billingsley last Friday night, 78-72 in 4 overtimes. The 150-point scored set a new single-game record, breaking the previous record of 146 set by Childersburg and Central Coosa. I remember that. It was 82-64 back in 2016. Billingsley, 72 points, established a new AHSA record for points scored in a loss. Can you imagine scoring 72 points and still losing the game? Combined, Central and Billingsley had 987 yards. The two teams scored 22 touchdowns between them and 12 two-point conversions, 6 each. Yes, that is a state record. Both of those state records, 22 touchdowns and 12 two-point conversions.
Central Haydenville's defensive coordinator better be buying a steak for the offensive coordinator tonight.
That's
I mean,
right.
that's guaranteed, right? You owe him something.
Absolutely. 12 two-point conversions. My
12
goodness.
two-point conversions. You know, most coaches only have maybe a couple of two-point plays. 12 two-point conversions between Central of Haydenville and Billingsley. Back with more of After the Game in just a moment.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
The Coosa Valley, on the banks of the Coosa River in Gadsden, Alabama. Fishing, boating, and paddling, and home to Team One Chevrolet. Team One Chevy has been serving generations for years. Even the grandkids are grown. Come by and see why so many people come back to Team One Chevy in Gadsden.
Home of the best people, the best service, period.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at peeweeturnermotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Wellberg Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
High school football, Alabama's after the game. Anniston Orthopedics bringing you those fantastic Anniston Orthopedics score shirts that we give to our Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week. They loved them up at Piedmont today. And Anniston Orthopedics also has the Saturday morning sports injury clinic, 8 a.m. every Saturday morning during the football season. And you don't have to be just a football player, volleyball player, cross country, any of the sports going on in the fall. They're there every Saturday morning at 8 at the Tyler Center in Midtown Anniston. They've got great, highly skilled, kind, experienced physicians. Vandervoort, both of the Dr. Tippett's, Dr. Hardy, Dr. Wiedmer, Dr. Morris, sports medicine trainers Sean Seeger and Jessica Martin. They're on the sidelines every week at local high school football games, continuing to provide a legacy of outstanding sports injury care on and off the field, keeping players in the game. Anniston Orthopedics. Well, we are back. We're going to talk about our Johnson's Giant Food concession stand of the week. Coach Short, you and Don able to tag team again last night. We were in Rainbow City at Westbrook Christian, the Westbrook Burger last night. So let's take it out to Westbrook Christian with a Westbrook Athletic Booster Club. All right, John Holder with you on a football Thursday night. We are at Westbrook Christian tonight. It is our Johnson's Giant Food concession stand of the week with Westbrook Athletics. This is on the home side. Leo Lloyd, you kind of run things here, right? So
yes, sir.
Tell us what we got here for these two guys to try.
Well, we've got some homemade burgers with some nacho cheese sauce on top, and we have all the fixings outside for people to fix their burger the way that they want to.
So you cook these hamburgers here at the grill, right?
Yes, sir. Everything is cooked in-house. We have beef hot dogs, and nachos, all the goods.
All right, so this is the Westbrook Christian Burger. We got Coach Michael Short, Don Wilson, both tag teaming tonight. And so, guys, what y'all think?
Hey, I'm ready.
Ready to go, John.
These guys are hungry. It's been a long night. So here we go with the Westbrook Burger tonight. Here we go, guys.
1, 2, 3.
All I'm hearing is a bunch of
That's better than any burger you can go buy anywhere else. That's a good burger.
For sure.
The Westbrook Burger tonight. Westbrook Athletics, when you come to a Westbrook game, it's on the home side here at Jack Osborne Stadium. Check out Leo Lloyd and all the folks here. They'll treat you right here at Westbrook. They get a $100 gift certificate from Johnson's Giant Food. Had a great job, or a great time, I should say, at Westbrook last night. Coach, you and Don just seem like you're enjoying that just a little bit too much. I usually don't partake, but they offered me one last night, and I was able to partake in that. The great workers over there, this is again on the concession stand on the home side. Not just the Westbrook Burger that they have, but all kind of other great things that they have at the concession stand. Coach, how was it last night?
It was fantastic. I'm just glad we all got to get together, because that was it was a real cooked burger. You could tell it was meat. It wasn't, it wasn't 1 inch thick, or it was like 3 inches thick.
Yeah.
They just had put it together. So
we're gonna pull Chad Barnett into this one of these weeks. We're gonna pull Chad into the concession stand.
I do like some food.
Well, we hadn't eaten all day. I was starving to death, and I was ready to eat.
Well, another place that have a great concession stand, we know that from a couple weeks ago, is over at Cleveland County. Everything they do at Cleveland County is really great. The game day atmosphere is pretty much unmatched here in East Alabama over at Heflin. Chad, you got to experience a little bit of that tonight at the White Plains game over at the pit.
Yeah, I was extremely impressed. First time I've been there since all the changes, but definitely a fantastic game to watch too tonight. Really wasn't sure what you were going to come into, because Cleveland County this year started off to a very quick start at 3-1, but then they ran into a buzzsaw in the 4th or 5th ranked Reeltown, and then also 7th ranked Jacksonville. They averaged 48 and 47 points respectively. So that was tough. So now they come in tonight looking to get right against White Plains, back into the region matchup. And here's the entrance. I just love the atmosphere of this place. Super awesome look for Ellie Bell Field. White Plains, though, fresh off of the win over Talladega last week, looking for their first region win under head coach Blake Jennings. The statement for this highlight is do not sleep on White Plains anymore, because they came out tonight and played a physical brand of football. Opening drive, Jake Dingler with a strong run. Coach, you recognize the 34, the fullback at Heflin. You remember the Mayfields and all these names, but a big run here by Dingler to get started. But on 4th down, White Plains would stiffen up and stop the Cleveland County offense, so they would take over on downs inside the 20. There you see quarterback Crew Martin getting his second start at quarterback, just a 9th grader, hands the ball off, but Cleveland County's defense would be tough as well. Later in the first quarter, Martin, this time he's going to be stripped, and it's going to be scooped up by James Cotton Jr. So Heflin back with the ball. Dingler with another strong carry, but White Plains defense, look at that, 5 hats on the ball. And that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. It's still 0-0. Very surprising. They would stop Heflin inside the 5 and force a field goal. Bud Heflin does take the lead 3-0 as that kick is good. White Plains back on offense. Martin this time pressure again, rolling to the left side. Can't get the pass to drop. It will fall short. Heflin now with the ball again. And the first major mistake of the night is going to be picked up by Bryson Cheatwood with a pick 6. Young man's only 5'7", and he gets into the end zone. Big play for White Plains. They take the lead 7-3, and I think everybody at this point is kind of scratching their heads like, okay. But Joby Burns hoping his team can come back and show some life, and they do. Back on offense, but I tell you, that Cheatwood kid, look at that. He almost comes down with it. Beautiful tip drill. He nearly made that diving catch, but it's just a stop on 3rd down. Now on 4th and long. Cleveland County at their own 25. They're going to go up top, and that's going to be caught by Austin Mayfield for a big first down. Hunter Gore with a nice throw. Gordon then would take in the quarterback sneak and put Heflin back on top. It is now 10-7. Heflin's on top at the half, and that's when you thought, they would just, as I left at that point, I thought Heflin would just kind of, keep grinding and figure out a way to win this one. But boy, I tell you, maybe there's a new thing in White Plains cooking right now because, hey, this was not flash. This was point of attack, good football on the lines. They were physical tonight. That's a White Plains brand I have not seen in a long time.
Well, defensively, they come up with some tip passes, and has some short fields. Well, that's what you're supposed to do. Defensively, you're supposed to cause turnovers and force your offense to not have to go far. And that's what they did. Defensively is where they were very impressive. And then there in the late in the 3rd quarter and the 4th quarter when they started pulling away, they started making some great throws. They quit making him roll left. They started letting him go to his right because he's a 9th grade quarterback. Here was the thing that impressed me the most. The staff of White Plains used Barksdale more than just, he'd be at Wildcat at quarterback, he'd be at the wing back, he'd be at tight end. He was all over the field, and they used him tonight in a lot of different places. They felt like, well, he's the guy we got to get the ball to. And they did a good job of getting to him and not putting so much pressure on a freshman quarterback.
Yeah, I didn't get to see Barksdale much tonight because he wasn't a lot in that game plan in the first half where he didn't have a lot of big plays. But that kid can play for anybody.
Yeah, the second half.
He is an amazing athlete.
Yeah, the
He's
second half.
fast. He can play quarterback. He can play running back. As you said, they're moving him around now.
Yeah.
Now that Crew's back there at quarterback, they can move him and get him in different spots to open him up. He's impressive. And as a kid, he can play for a lot of teams around here, not just White Plains.
In the 3rd quarter, when Cleveland County's still ahead, there's a 3rd down and 25, and they completed a pass to get a first down. And to me, that was really what got things going. I mean, it just went rolling from there, and it was kind of like, oh my, what's going on here? So they started making the plays, and Cleveland County wasn't making those plays, but hats off to White Plains, for thinking. That's the thing they're doing. They're trying to do what I said Weaver's trying to do, change the culture of the mind.
Sure, yeah.
Trying to, I'm going to call a little bit of an audible here. We're going to take a look at Class 4A now, Class 4A regions, because even though this wasn't a region game, as we get ready to look at those things, again, White Plains not eligible. So this was a non-region game technically because of the forfeits from the Alabama High School Athletic Association. But if you look at this, you look at Cleveland County, they're still 2-1 in the region. Sure. Now, hey, they've got some tough games coming up. Hanley, Anniston along the way. But Cleveland County is still in, they have beaten Munford head-to-head. They have beaten Talladega head-to-head. So Cleveland County, it looks like, Coach, is going to be a playoff team out of Class 4A Region 4. And they still are alive with a record of 2-1 in region play. They're alive to not only make the playoffs, but maybe even go a little bit higher there if they can pull an upset or two along the way.
Yeah, well, coaches don't look at scores, but I do now.
I'm
a media now. I'm an analyst now. But they're going to be 4th. They're going to be 4th, and they're going to travel down to Jackson, Alabama. Most likely, it would be Jackson. But yeah, they will be 4th.
And Coach, this is big for Cleveland County as far as getting back into the state playoffs. I know you come off a 41-10 tonight. And I know that's, not a lot of folks in Heflin are feeling great about that, but the program is taking a progression forward. They're 3-4 now, and they're going to be in the state playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, getting in is the most important thing. Once you get in, then anything can happen. I've seen upsets before in the playoffs. Been part of one myself on the wrong end of an upset.
I was going to say, which side was that, Coach?
Yeah, well, I've been on both. I've upsetted people, and I've been on the other side of it where you get in the playoffs, but you just want to get in. And once you get in, everybody's 0-0.
And then we take a look at Class 4A Region 6 now. Cherokee County wins tonight over Fultondale. Here's the thing. Cherokee County's got Etowah next week at Jim Glover Field in Talbot. They've beaten Aniana head-to-head. They've beaten Fultondale. They've beaten Good Hope. They have basically taken care of business. They can, in essence, clinch the region championship with that win at Etowah next week. Everybody's chasing Cherokee County. It's looking more and more like, you know, that we're seeing some separation here. We're seeing who the top 4 teams are going to be. But again, 4A Region 6. Everybody, not only, I think, guys, in Region 6, but in all of North Alabama in Class 4A is chasing the Center Warriors.
If I were standing here tonight, I would look Coach Kelly and Mr. Tittle in the eyes and tell him, go ahead and reserve your seats to the University of Alabama to go play in Tuscaloosa. Isn't that right? That's where they'll be playing this year?
That's exactly right, yes.
And get ready to play somebody.
Well, they are, it will be, I'll say this, Coach Kelly, I always put a lot of pressure on him, picking them high in our magazine and all that kind of stuff. I will say this, if Cherokee County doesn't go to Tuscaloosa this year, a major upset will happen somewhere along the way in the playoffs.
What you said is possible.
And
You've been on both
very
sides
well
of it.
can. I've been on both sides, yes.
Is there a team, when you look at the North, who would be the one that would give them the best shot at this point?
Everybody
in
says
your
West
mind?
Morgan. That
West
would
Morgan?
be, because they score a lot, but I don't bite on that. I mean, I'm not biting that.
I'm not sure that West Morgan still has
That kind of people.
the athletes that
No.
can match up with Cherokee County.
And they've not been there.
Yep.
And there's a whole lot. I mean, you start getting to that 3rd and 4th round, and all of a sudden you look up and you're playing in front of more people than you've ever played because everybody's there, because nobody else is playing. And the colder it gets, a lot of kids have not played in cold weather, and it's a difference.
Or ran a 13, 14 game schedule.
Yeah,
Right,
and-
hit that wall.
Oh, the thing
Not
is, and
used
the
to.
coaching staff hadn't done it either. And they don't know how to prepare those kids. They're lightening up in practice because all of a sudden now you're playing a whole half an extra season.
Yeah.
And weather, it rains a lot in the playoffs. You get cold and the rain, and some kids say, I don't want no part of this. And it happens.
Coach, we showed this a little bit earlier, but we want to give some context to this tonight. We talked about the Cleveland County game. Chad, you were there shooting the game. Coach Short was there, but Coach Short was not there technically representing high school football Alabama tonight. Coach was there, as we mentioned earlier, when Coach Burns was on from Cleveland County. They honored Coach Short. If you don't know Coach Short, the reason we call him Coach Short is he was 21 years the head football coach at Cleveland County High School, and he's a Cleveland County High School graduate as well. Coach, if you can, just kind of tell us about what they did tonight. I know it's tough for Coach to talk about. A meaningful night, I know, for you, Coach.
Yeah, you know, it's 21 years as the head coach, but it's been 30 years that I coached there. So
Yes.
a lot of guys are there. Man, I played with that guy. It's Dwayne Snow. We're going to get Coach Frank. He's going to get
Coach Frank.
Coach Frank's coming up and says, I'm coming to see John Holder is what he said what he told me. But I had a lot of former players. But, you know, I had over 200 texts today and phone calls from former players that couldn't be there and called me. You know, Randy Beeson is watching tonight from Miami. He's with JSU's volleyball team or one other soccer team, somebody. But just all these guys here played for me, and they're coaches there at Cleveland County now. So just the opportunity for them to honor me and my family, because they're the ones that were always there for me. And just all those guys, it was a special night. And thank you, Jeff, for being there and getting part of that video, because me and you go way back too.
Well, I mean, you know, I graduated at JSU in 2001. Probably should have been 99. 2001 is when I graduated.
I had that 6-year program.
I did too. But anyway, so whenever I started, when Mickey and it brought me into the whole, you know, Pigskin Roundup and all that kind of stuff.
We were pretty good.
Well, you were Heflin, and in the entire time, and I've been away for a few years. So, and you know, since you've been gone, so in my mind, Heflin has always been Coach Short. And when I see those number 3s and the number 9s and number 34s, and I see Rocky Hayes, Arsenio Hayes, Tyrone Prothrow, the Mayfields, all these guys were coached under you. And so the L.A. Bell Field, the stigma, everything that place is, even before the lights and the turf and all that kind of stuff, that place was special.
Yeah, it
Had a lot
always
of
has
guys.
been. And I have to, you know, I had great administration. We have great fans. I always had great coaches because, you know, beside every coach are great assistant coaches. And I had great assistant coaches and had great players that loved Cleveland County. And we always used to say, once a Tiger, always a Tiger. Well, I've kind of changed that now, and I say, once a true Tiger, always a true Tiger. I just have changed that over the past couple of years, and there's a meaning behind that. But I have to, in my family, it was always there. My kids were there. They've been there through it. My sister, my nieces, my brother-in-law, and my wife. She was there tonight.
Amen. I remember coming and starting the scoreboard show on Alabama 100 way back in the day, and it was a big deal. Alabama 100 had a big stick, and I've kind of been working mostly concentrating in Gadsden doing Friday night scoreboard shows. I came over and I knew the name Michael Short. I knew he was the head coach of Cleveland County, but I didn't know Michael Short. I was like, who is this Michael Short guy our coach keeps talking about? Who's this Michael Short guy? I don't really know who this guy is. But in the last 25 years, Coach, I've gotten to know Michael Short very well, as most folks here in East Alabama have as well. And just a legend, no doubt, in Cleveland County High School athletic history. And glad to have you here with us on After the Game, Coach.
I'm glad to be here, and shout out to all the coaches in the state that I've gotten text from today that knew it got shared out on social media what they were going to do tonight. I mean, from Terry Curtis to all of them. I mean,
who's who coaches?
Yeah, a bunch of Hall of Famers texted me today, and even those guys that are not Hall of Famers, they just happen to decide to stay somewhere where they can't win a lot of games. But you know what? They're winning kids over to do the right things.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of guys out there that'll never be a Hall of Famer, but they've made a difference in kids' lives, and that's what coach is about, and that's what we're about here, just trying to let these kids, see that what they're doing is good, and we're highlighting it.
Kids and coaches.
Yep. We'll
be back with more of After the Game in just a moment.
Supplying top quality, name brand sports equipment and team apparel to hundreds of Alabama schools, coaches, and athletes, and continuing to provide custom uniforms, embroidery, and screen printing, Team Sports is adding a new player. Coming soon, McClellan Sports and Outdoors. Whether you are an athlete in search of football helmets, bats, or even cleats, or an outdoor enthusiast in search of apparel from top brands, McClellan Sports and Outdoors has you covered. Visit McClellansports.com for more information.
I can't imagine life without Gwen, but we came dangerously close.
I was having chest pains.
Luckily, there was a hospital nearby that quickly discovered one of her arteries was 100% blocked. A hospital with life-saving technology and the latest in cardiac treatment, with an experienced team of doctors and nurses focused on fixing Gwen's heart. What hospital had all of that?
It was all right here at RMC.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. We live in a world that moves quickly, and while we are able to connect faster than ever through technology, maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect, a place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life, a place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ. A place to use the gifts and talents God has given you. A place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Anniston. Visit our website for details.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch. The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated.
Dedicated.
dedicated to what moves you.
Addiston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
High school football, Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. Team Sports brings you all of our highlights each and every week here. Team Sports very close to opening their new storefront out on McClellan at 135 Exchange Avenue. But they've been in business here in East Alabama for 15 years, since 2008, locally family owned. They service over 100 schools all across not only East Alabama, but the state as well. They'll have all the brand names. When you go to their new storefront out there, they've got Armour, Wilson, they've got Rawlings, Rydell, The Game, everything you need, from apparel and jerseys to scorebooks, basketball goals, tackling dummies. They've got it all. Team Sports bringing you our highlights here every football Friday night on After the Game. Joined now, as promised, the head coach of the Weaver High School Bearcats in his first year, Coach Ken Kofer with us. Coach Michael Short here with us once again. We've been talking a lot of good things about Weaver tonight already, Coach. Picked up your third win tonight. A region win, beat a big rival, next door neighbor in Sachs tonight, scored 41 points. A good night, obviously, out at Bill Bryant Stadium.
A great night. You know, we'll take it. Anytime you can get a win over any kind of opponent, you know, you'll take that. And, you know, I definitely think after we scouted Sachs last Friday night, I kind of got a little worried, just to be honest with you, because I thought Sachs was kind of doing this on the downplane. And Coach Freeney and his staff looked amazing. They had those kids up against Randolph County last Friday, and it was kind of scary. You know, you're talking about a winless team right there, but their attitude has gone up, and I think that man's doing things the right way. I really do, and got a lot of respect for him, and he's keeping his kids on the upward path mentally.
Coach, I saw your team earlier this year against Donahoe, first game of the season, and it immediately struck me this is a different looking Weaver team that I've seen the last several years. You can see that evidence, and we talked about it earlier in the show about, you know, the word for Weaver this year is just better. It's just they're just a better team.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, we need a little swagger, and it's not overconfidence, but we need that. Do we have that right now? I don't think so. We're getting more and more confidence and stuff about us as we go. We're competing. I still think that we lost 3 of the games that we had a chance to win, and we were competing. I think Randolph County, you know, beat us and put us in our playlist a little bit, but we had 3 other games that I thought we had shots to win. You know, woulda, coulda, shoulda, and we've got to win one of those games that we're not supposed to win, that nobody picks us to win and get us over the hump. But yeah, I think we're better. But we're still having some discipline issues on the field. You know, not character issues with our kids. We got great kids, but just those discipline things that you got to work on each and every time. And we're still making some of those same mistakes. And you know, I attribute that comes back to me. I'm the head man, you know, and those little mistakes have to come back. We have to keep reiterating that over and over. But weight room starts, you know, it starts everything. And we're big weight room people over there now, and our kids have bought into that. Not just our boys, you know, not just football, but our girls too, man. I'm so happy with our girls buying into our weight room program too. But we're getting that confidence. It's coming slowly but surely. But you know, tonight was one of those things where we got to learn how to finish a football game and not take a series off. It's not just a play or two; it's a series off. And you know, I've said it many times, said it at media days, I've said it to everybody, but I'm not the most patient man in America, I can assure you. And but I want to win right now, and I think those kids are believing in that too. So we're getting to that point. We're getting there.
Coach, you know, most of the people around here don't know you. I did because, you know, when you were over in Georgia. You also go back to when you graduated from Jacksonville State, you were over there doing some observation and stuff at our school. So that's where I first met you. But some people think, well, he's in his first year of being a head coach. No. That guy's been a head coach before at some good programs, so they don't realize that. But I knew when I saw you out there come that day when it was raining like crazy. I didn't really get to see, but I watched him walking around.
Yeah.
I said, at Weaver, it won't be the talking about changing culture. It won't be the physical side of it as far as the athlete.
Right.
But it's going to have to be changing the culture of the mental side,
It
of
is,
believing
definitely.
you can win and knowing what it takes to win. Not taking that series off or that playoff. I think that's the thing that you're going to have to work on more than anything. And you've already talked about it already, but just the culture of the mind, not the culture of the physical. You're working on the physical side. That's going to come.
Correct.
But you can have the strongest kid in America, and if he don't want to do it, it ain't going to happen.
It is. It's just belief. It's having confidence in yourself and playing for that guy beside you. You know that, you know. And I've said that since day one. We have to work on this mental side. We said it tonight before the game. We said it at halftime. We said it after. We continually have to work on that mental stuff about just believing in each other and getting that and believing what we're teaching them is the right thing, and we're going to put them in spots to win. And but you're right, man. I think we got some dudes. I really do. I say that. I hope a lot of people know what I'm talking about when I say the dudes. We got some dudes, man. We got some strong kids that'll get after it, and just great Christian kids. And I can't reiterate that anymore too. We got a great support system, but the mental stuff right now is what we got to get through to them.
And something you just mentioned about the Christian side of it, you got a good, strong FCA out there.
Correct.
And those guys that come out there and share with you, those some good guys. I know most of them, they're great guys.
They are. Justin Caudle, man, he comes and does our huddle out there every Wednesday or Thursday. And then Brett Lloyd out there at Cornerstone Church, and Matt Martin out there. Man, they do a great job. And Jeremy Harper, our defense coordinator, is big into youth ministry and head baseball coach, and all that. But we're going to pray after practice every day. And shoot, I need it just as much as they do, So, I think our kids influence us too. And one of our kids, Chris Thornton, just started a daily devotion, man, and they invited me in that too. So it is huge. It is huge at Weaver High School, and we like to call it the Weaver family, man. And I just want to be a part of that family.
Well, I already know this, but you still got guys you coached a long time ago that still come back and say, hey, Coach, I remember this and that. And I remember you hollering at me, getting on to me.
Oh, yeah.
But that's the things they need, and they remember it. And it's even harder today to do it because kids don't think they need that.
Well, I think if you have that relationship, and I had an episode with a kid yesterday, and it got pretty bad right there, and he didn't understand some things, but he was man enough to come talk to me after. And as agitated as I was, I turned around and I said, dude, I love you, but there's some things right there that just bugged me. And I think some things about me bugged him, and stuff like that. But we have that with our families each and every day.
Yes.
We get on each other's nerves and stuff like that. And that's what we're trying to build with our football program at Weaver. It's just a family right there and it's not just our high school, it's our middle school kids too, and then even down into the rec leagues. We're trying to do all that. So it's very important to us.
Yes.
Coach, you mentioned the discipline aspect of it, and I was at the Donahoe game, and I'm sitting there on your sideline, and first game of the year, and I'm writing stuff down and all that kind of stuff, and you had a guy defensively who jumped into the neutral zone and jumped off sides. The next thing I know, without it was automatic. There's nobody on the sideline saying, get down. Yeah. It's all 11 guys on that defense immediately hit the grass and started doing push-ups. Yeah. Tell us about that.
Well, I think there's probably a couple of people that would say that that's probably for show. We kind of take pride in that, and they should know that if they do something. I'll make this thing right here, and I'm kind of proud of this. Zach Rhodes is a transfer from Jacksonville. He fell asleep in a class, I think a couple of weeks ago, and his teacher woke him up, and he jumps up out of his seat, and he said, Miss Pruitt, that won't happen again. He does 3 push-ups right there in the floor. It's just a discipline thing with us when we jump off sides or we're making a little boneheaded mistake or something like that. But as soon as you say that now, we had a couple of penalties tonight, and we kind of got a little miffed that every one of them didn't do it tonight. We had a couple of kids do something, and there was two of them that jumped down there, but it wasn't the whole team. So we'll have a little talk about that on film day on Sunday about why we're not all paying the price, because it affects everybody. you know, on the team. It's not just that person. It affects us all. And we used to even do that back in the day, a few years ago. We used to do it on the sideline with them. So that was a thing too. But just trying to get everybody on the right page that if you go down, we go down. So that's just trying to build a positive atmosphere with that.
We're going to take a moment right now to look at our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden, our region rundown. And so here are the updated region standings for both of our 3A regions here, but we'll begin with Class 3A Region 4, your region here. Walter Welborn, I was at this game tonight down in Wedowee. Walter Welborn won the game with 2 seconds to go, beating Randolph County 30-25 in that game. And tonight, Beulah goes in and beats Childersburg, which was a bit of a surprise as well. You beat Sachs tonight. Dadeville had the week off. So kind of take us through the region. Of course, next week, you've got, I guess it's the biggest game of the year coming up next week. So just kind of walk us through 3A Region 4.
Yeah, man, all those cats right there are tough. I mean, we just, you know, you're talking about the bottom team right there, Sachs, and you know, I'm scared to death of those guys playing those tonight because they got a lot of team speed and had more than we did. I do think that we let the Childersburg game get away from us, but I think they're full of athletes and their coaches do a great job over there. I don't know much about Beulah. I worry about them, you know, after we play Welborn. Dadeville was a tough game. We had chances to win that game right there towards the end.
20-20, right?
It was 20-20, and we had a 13-0 lead actually toward the beginning, and we just kind of fizzled out right there, and they kind of took advantage. But Randolph County, you know, I talked to Coach Smith, and Randolph County was very physical against us. And I remember when I was at Heflin a couple of years ago, all those kids right there were playing against us, and we beat them pretty bad. But they've grown up big time, you know, and they know what they're doing and they know their system right there. I have not seen Welborn play on film yet. I just go by hearsay and going by those scores and talking about how physical they are. Now, we have an opportunity. I mean, I can't say it any better. We have an opportunity to take off and beat one of these teams that we're not supposed to beat, you know, according to other people. So we're going to go in guns blazing. I mean, that's what you have to do. And we went for it on the 4th down tonight, and I said, we got nothing to lose. You know, we're a 2-4 team at the time, and we have nothing to lose. We're going to take chances. We did some other things tonight to try to put some things on film. I heard you talking about that a few weeks back. We're trying to put some things on film.
I was telling the truth.
You're telling the truth. But you know what? I want our kids knowing that we'll take chances and good chances in life too. And I want them to go for things that they want to do. I don't want them to say, man, I wish I would have.
Yeah.
And we want our kids to take that same attitude. And I wish I had that when I was younger, but I want our kids doing that too. So, but no, it is a tough region. I think it's prepared us. I think it's gotten us better playing those physical teams like that. But man, I look forward to big games. This is what you do this for. You know, we don't try to schedule cupcakes, but man, we want to play in these big games against Welborn right there. It just makes you better and it propels you to the future.
We're going to take a look at 3A Region 6, even though this is not your region. You're familiar with a lot of these teams. You played Glencoe earlier in the year. A lot of area teams here, a lot of Calhoun County teams in this region, like Ohatchee and Piedmont. We had a chance to check out last night Westbrook and Geraldine. I think every team but Plainview and Glencoe I've seen play in this region. And so Sylvania sitting at the top, they had a big win again tonight. They're 5-0. Everybody's chasing Sylvania. There's some big games coming up. Geraldine and Piedmont, I believe, is next week coming up, and that's going to be a huge game. Hoax Bluff had that big win over Ohatchee tonight. So, Coach Short, tell us about this region right here, because we have talked about all year long. There's going to be 2, at least, really good football teams that are not going to make the playoffs out of this region, that if they were in a lot of regions in Class 3A in this state, they would be playoff teams, and the separation's coming in the next 2 weeks.
They would have, exactly, because when you look at, you know, Sylvania, Geraldine sitting at the top, I mean, they're very solid teams. We saw that with Geraldine last night. But the one thing that I have to say before I forget to say it is that region right there may have the best kickers. I mean, no kidding. They've got 4. There's 4 of those teams, 5 of those teams that have got kickers that when they kick it off, Coach, it's in the end zone. Well, that's invaluable. And punters that can go 35 and 40 yards a punt. I mean, that's flipping in high school. I mean, you don't even get a
And
chance to
Moses
return a kick.
Moses Garcia from Geraldine last night in Warmos was kicking 52-yard field goals, but he missed 2 pretty easy ones last night.
Yeah,
So
they blocked one.
Yeah, blocked one, and they had.
Drives, but every kickoff was in the end zone, and he kicked 3 in warm-ups from 50, just warming up.
I wish we have a great kicker. Gianluca Torres is awesome, and he came out toward the beginning of the year, and I can't say enough about that kid. And he's big in the weight room too as a kicker, you know. But we're having some problems right now just trying to spot the ball. Can't get it to the end zone yet, but he's a sophomore.
Yeah.
But when you have that kind of kickers like you're talking about, and they can kick it in the end zone every time, boy, you're sitting pretty now. And you can,
every time got to go 80. I mean,
man.
it's not getting to the, you see all these teams that you ask, the fans are going, why do we kick it to the 40 and onside kick? They think we're onside kicking it every time.
Right.
Now, you don't ever know when he's going to kick an onside kick. But a lot of us have to because you're afraid, look, if they get it, they're going to score.
Amen.
I mean, they're going to be a touchdown or pooch it up in the air. I mean, we've been years where you just didn't have great tacklers and you wasn't going to give them a chance. So at least give it to them on 35. We got a chance to slow them down.
Yeah, slow them down a little bit. We're just trying to field position. We don't want to give up a return because a return changes a game.
Yes.
And you can't, even if it's not a score and you can return it past midfield, man, that's awesome for the other team, and momentum can swing. And that's happened to us against Childersburg. So
4 of them teams have got kickers that can kick it in the end zone every time.
Yeah.
And that's unbelievable to have that.
Coach, congratulations on the big win
Yes,
tonight.
sir.
Thank you for hanging out with
Yes,
us
sir.
late at night on a Friday night. Best
sir.
wishes to you and your team the rest of the way. Ken Kofer, head coach of the Weaver High School Bearcats, winners tonight over Sachs. We'll be back with more of After the Game in just a moment.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
After 15 years of supplying top quality, name brand sports equipment and team apparel to hundreds of Alabama schools, coaches, and athletes, and continuing to provide custom uniforms, embroidery, and screen printing, Team Sports is adding a new player. Coming soon, McClellan Sports and Outdoors. Whether you're an athlete in search of football helmets, bats, or even cleats, or an outdoor enthusiast in search of apparel from top brands, McClellan Sports and Outdoors has you covered. Visit McClellansports.com for more information.
My dad taught me to fish right here years ago. But when an old sports injury started slowing him down, I knew we'd need to search for the latest procedures in knee and hip replacement. With physical therapy tailored to his needs, a dedicated team of doctors and nurses, and he'd want a fast recovery time. So where'd he find all that?
Right here at RMC.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at PeeWeeTurnerMotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
High school football, Alabama's After the Game is presented by the Calhoun County Commission. Again in 2023, County Commissioners Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson supporting our schools in Calhoun County and recreational sites. Tons of great recreational sites here in Calhoun County. Great natural beauty, things like the Chief Ladiga Trail, all the Janney Furnace, Silver Lakes Golf Course, all the things here in the county. Beautiful parks and recreation facilities. The County Commission supports every one of those. And, of course, they present high school football Alabama's After the Game. And presenting that to you each and every Friday night. Thanks to the County Commission for being with us here each and every Friday night. Back with Coach Michael Short, Chad Barnett. Last night we had a contingent of high school football Alabama after the game, folks, at Jack Osborne Stadium in Rainbow City on a Thursday night game between Westbrook Christian and Rainbow City with all the concession stand and all that kind of stuff. Geraldine and Westbrook last night. We actually came back, Chad, with a few highlights after all that.
And what an amazing game, right? I mean, yes. It exceeded, I think, expectations. Let's talk about this. And the only blemish on the 2023 schedule so far for the Geraldine Bulldogs was a road loss to 7th-ranked Sylvania. The 8th-ranked Bulldogs followed that with an impressive showing at Ohatchee. Looking to build off of that once again on the road at Westbrook due to an open day in Week 6. Bulldogs haven't played at home since September 15th. There's a shot of Grayson Carroll, the quarterback for Westbrook Christian, and we're going to start off with Geraldine on the move. Jackson Colvin passed to Carlos Mann for 53 yards. Just like that, the Bulldogs are up 7-0. First drive for Westbrook. Hunter Arnold with a carry for 16 strong yards, gets chopped down, and he will go down a few plays later. Carroll's pass. This one is going to be picked off by Mauricio Calderon at the Bulldog 45-yard line, and they are looking to kind of take control of this contest on the road once again. Bulldogs now to punt, though, as that drive would stall. Westbrook, though, they're going to fumble this punt and give it back to the Bulldogs at the 24-yard line. Big mistake there for Westbrook Christian. Shot at Geraldine head coach Michael Davis. Next play for the Bulldogs, Calvin's going to keep it, and he's going to take it 23 yards for another touchdown. So Geraldine up big early, 14-0. There you see head coach Steve Smith of the Westbrook Christian Warriors. They're back on offense. 4th down here at the GHS 26. Carroll 4-yard run for the first down. Next play, Carroll's going to drop back to pass. And this one is going to be picked off again. John Beck for Geraldine with a massive play. 5 with a pick in the end zone, giving his team back the ball. Colvin, this time going to call his number once again. He's going to take this one 38 yards down the sideline. Big fella can run. First down, Bulldogs. But the drive would stall. Garcia would go for the field goal, and this is going to go off the upright. No good. Still, though, a 14-0 lead by the Bulldogs. Now the Warriors ball. Arnold with a handoff, 21 yards for a Warrior. First down outside on the right side. Next play, 39-yard pass. This was from Grayson Carroll to LaMichael Mitchell. How many times we called his name this year? Phenomenal receiver. First down for the Warriors. But that would be a touchdown now. This one for Westbrook. Arnold with the call again, 2 yards out. 14-7 at the half. There you see the cheerleaders for Westbrook Christian. And this is just an interesting play here. Kickoff of the second half. I want you to see the shot here. Boom, right there. Ensuing kickoff, Beck with a return leveled by Hamza Alabasi. Replay, big shot. Steve Smith, doesn't matter. He's going to get back to work. 14-0 still Bulldogs. Westbrook now with the ball. Carroll goes to the air. This time it's picked off again, this time by Mann. He's going to return it down to the Warrior 24-yard line. Defense for the Bulldogs was massive last night. Now Colvin, he's going to pass it to Elijah Slediger. Not sure of the name, but hey, it's a beautiful play. Sounds good to me. First down inside the 10-yard line. Drive would stall again, though, as Westbrook Christian's defense would stand tall. This one is wide left. Misses a 21-yard field goal, so still 14-7, a massive drive for Steve Smith and his Westbrook Christian Warriors. Carroll is going to call his own number. This is a 14-yard run, and that would be towards the end of the third quarter. And remember, they're trying to tie this thing up. Now, 4th and 9, Carroll drops back to pass, connects 23 yards downfield to Arnold for the first down. Warriors threatening to tie it up at home. Mitchell is going to be back at quarterback. Can't handle the snap, and he's going to throw the pick at the goal line. And Beck is going to take it the rest of the way. A pick six, his second pick of the night. Is going to take it back for the touchdown, and that would seal the victory. PAT no good as it was blocked, but 20-7 at that point. Final would be 30-7. Geraldine gets a massive win, once again becoming road warriors now for 3 weeks in a row.
5 interceptions thrown by Westbrook last night, and Wade had 3 of those interceptions for Geraldine, including that one there was the 5th longest interception return in AHSA history. 102 yards officially is what Ron Ingram and the folks from the Athletic Association were putting out last night. And so we saw that. And the amazing thing, he took that big shot on the kickoff return.
Yeah.
He's 5'7", weighs 150 pounds, and he's an 8th grader.
Oh, wow.
And, well, he had a big night last night.
I thought I remember hearing about that. He was an 8th grader.
Yes.
So that solidifies that.
He plays 6 foot and 210.
Yeah.
But that fumble punt to me is what turned the ball game, because they had a chance to not be down there at halftime.
Yeah.
And then they come out in that other interception there at the end. Because look, when they're driving to tie the game, was what, 7 minutes to go in the game, 6 minutes?
Yes.
I mean, you're thinking, here's a Steve Smith team. They've kept themselves in it, and they haven't played great, but we're still in the ball game. They're still making enough plays to have a chance to win, and then they get that interception, and then all that scoring was done there in about 2 or 3 minutes there at the end, because now they have to throw and whatever. But you're starting to see a Steve Smith football team.
Yes, very competitive. One of the trademarks I've always talked with Coach Smith about this is they score and they put a dagger in you before halftime, right before halftime. They did it last night. Geraldine's up 14-0, and they cobbled together this drive, and then about 1 minute and 30 seconds before the half, they score a touchdown, and all of a sudden it's a 14-7 game. That's one of the things I've always noticed about a Steve Smith team. At the end of the half, end of the game, you better look out. They did it at the end of the half last night.
They did, and that's what you look for. And defensively, it's just a matter of them getting another year in the weight room and another year of doing the things that Coach Blanchard does. Coach Blanchard's out there with his defense. Coach Smith's not out there with him. He has trust in him, and he has trust in everybody else.
Reason to trust him.
Yeah, there is.
He's been around for just
He's been around a long time.
Yes,
and then there's a tidbit there about that ball game last night. Is the quarterback from Geraldine?
Yes.
Drew
I was gonna talk about
Knowles,
this.
his nephew. And I said, well, no wonder he's already got him out for baseball and working with him on the side, because I didn't realize that Coach Knowles used to be there. And where else has he been? Etowah.
And Boaz.
And Boaz.
Head coach at Boaz, head coach at Etowah, head coach at Westbrook Christian. Now working in full-time Christian ministry now up in Boaz.
And lives in Geraldine. I didn't know that.
And that is his nephew, who's the quarterback. And if he looks like a big quarterback, 6'4", 235, number of college offers. Coach Knowles was telling me last night as an outside linebacker. We didn't see a lot of him on video there, but he's an outstanding defensive player as well.
That's what he is, because when he runs, when they run that power game in there, and at that level, it's hard to tackle him. I mean, if it's 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, he's going to get 1 yard. Yeah. And they do a good job. I mean, that's the first I really got to watch Geraldine that close. They do a good job calling their plays. Their kicking game is excellent. Geraldine has a good football team. I just don't know that one loss they had. That's the one team I haven't seen. I have not seen Sylvania. So,
well,
and how good is Pisgah?
Well, and Pisgah's maybe even better.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Might be the best team on Sand Mountain.
Too. That was a close game with the Pisgah, too.
Yeah. Taking a lot this year. Let's go back to our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden region rundown, and we're going to move to Class 6A, and we've got 2 6A regions here in East Alabama. Class 6A Region 6. This is it, folks. Next Friday night, Lamar Field in Oxford, top 10 matchup, basically for the region title. Clay Chalkville and Oxford. Been a lot of hype about this, and there's going to be a lot more hype this week coming up about this game at Lamar Field.
I think it was a lot of optimism, but I think a couple weeks ago, whenever you see Clay Chalkville take down Thompson, I think even the Oxford faithful probably took a deep sigh and was like, okay, all right. But hey, if they can come in and be knocked off by Oxford. What a big win for the Yellow Jackets that would be. That'd be massive for this coaching staff and this program.
This was only a 25-21
Yeah.
game last year, a 4-point game
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
at Clay. So Oxford knows that they can play with this bunch. So it's going to be a great game, great atmosphere down at Lamar Field next week. We'll be there to bring you highlights of that. Class 6A Region 8 now, and it's just like last year. This is a replay. Gadsden City had a strong, very strong, unbelievable out-of-region schedule, took some losses, but once they got into region play, they ran roughshod over the region. They've done that 69-0 last week, 42-13 tonight over Mae Jemison. They've already beaten Fort Payne. Gadsden City looks like they're going to win another region title.
Well, I know that when you leave Coach Ollie, their defense is what carries them, because he's always been a defensive guy. So they're always going to have players. And I just expect them this year to go a little bit deeper in the playoffs.
I think so. Second round of the playoffs last year, maybe deeper this year. And Gadsden City, one of those teams that not a lot of folks are talking about. They're not state ranked and so forth because of some of those losses they've had to Hewitt, Trustful, and Hillcrest and people like that along the way. But this is a solid, good football team in Class 6A Region 8. Let's tell you about the Calhoun County Quarterback Club. The Calhoun County Quarterback Club, just 3 meetings left, but you can still be a part of that. And they do so many other great things, not just the speakers they bring in, but also they have the scholarships that they award to players here in Calhoun County. They do the media day and a lot of things during the year. Hey, this coming Monday, one of the greatest offensive linemen in history. Not just high school or college history, but pro history, one of the best that ever has played the game at any level. John Hanna will be right here in Anniston, the former Alabama and NFL lineman. Trent Dilfer, head football coach at UAB, coming the week after that. John Cohen, the director of athletics at Auburn. I know a lot of Auburn folks will want to meet him. All those folks are coming live right here to Anniston, and you can still be a part of that. Contact Kevin Gibson at 453-4886. It's midnight. Go to our High School Football Alabama Facebook page. You're probably already there right now. Scroll down and you can vote now for Jacksonville, for Sachs, and for Galesville in our Farmers and Merchants Bank Spirit Scholarship. We'll be back in just a moment.
The Coosa Valley, on the banks of the Coosa River in Gadsden, Alabama. Fishing, boating, and paddling, and home to Team One Chevrolet. Team One Chevy has been serving generations for years. Even the grandkids are grown. Come by and see why so many people come back to Team One Chevy in Gadsden.
Home of the best people, the best service, period.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch. The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated.
Dedicated to what moves you.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welberg Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
We live in a world that moves quickly, and while we are able to connect faster than ever through technology, maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect, a place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life, a place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ, a place to use the gifts and talents God has given you, a place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Anniston. Visit our website for details.
USA Softball of Alabama brings you our USA Softball of Alabama scoreboard every Friday night here on After the Game. USA Softball, the national governing body of softball in the United States, and right here in Alabama, they have a great Facebook page, a great website, USA Softball of Alabama. They've got fall tournaments going on all across the state if you want to be involved with that. And they are the standard of excellence in softball. Great organization. I've had a chance to work with them in the past when USA Softball came to play last year with the big exhibition games down at Chakawaka Park. Great first-class organization based out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and a great organization right here in the state of Alabama where USA Softball is big. USA Softball bringing you high school football Alabama's After the Game. Back on this football Friday night on After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. John Holder, Coach Michael Short, Chad Barnett, our entire hard-working After the Game crew with you now. We got more great teen sports highlights. Piedmont and Glencoe. Some interesting storylines there tonight with it being homecoming, and one of the dads at homecoming tonight up at Piedmont, one Steve Smith. His daughter was the homecoming queen tonight at Piedmont. So an interesting night up at the Field of Champions.
Steve was not there. He was a little busy tonight. Had his own fish to fry at the game. Well, no, actually that was last night. So he was here tonight.
He was there.
He was here.
He moved the game to Thursday.
See, look at this. I mean, you know, I learned I'm learning as I go, y'all. Just work with me. I'm a work in progress.
He was at the pep rally today too.
That's why they played last night.
So I played last night. All right, so hey, don't look now, but right now the Piedmont Bulldogs may be onto something. After a tough start to the season, they have put up some back-to-back weeks of pretty good. They lost to Anniston in a tight ball game of 5 points on statewide television. They followed that up with a win against Westbrook Christian. Looking to continue that momentum tonight at the Field of Champions as they welcome in the Glencoe Yellow Jackets, who are looking for their first win in region play. As we got to the Field of Champions tonight, Piedmont was already up pretty strong. 30-12 is the score. Bulldogs with the ball, and Coleman Wilson going to air it out to Trevor Pike for the first down. Next play, Pike is going to take it to the house. Another Piedmont touchdown, and they're rolling right now. 37-12 is the score at this point. Piedmont's going to get the ball to start the half, and they're going to give it to Pike again, and he is going to take it for another touchdown. Look at number 20 go. Leaves some folks in his dust. PAT, though, is going to hit the upright, and it's going to remain a 44-12 lead for the Bulldogs. But I tell you, this is impressive win after impressive win. They're starting to build something maybe a little bit. As you see head coach looking on, Bulldogs back with the ball, and Wilson is going to air this one out to McLean Mahone for a great catch and a first down. Climbing the ladder, high point the ball, bring it down for the first down. Next play, William Gunn. He's going to punch this one in for the touchdown. PAT this time will be good, and they break the 50 mark, 51-12 at this point. And there you are, guys. Fresh from the fields last night. He welcomes in his homecoming queen and daughter, Savannah Smith. Bulldogs, big tonight, 58-12.
Big win for Piedmont tonight, and they get some, you're right, Chad, a little bit of momentum going here. Got this big game coming up with Geraldine and Hoax Bluff. They got some big games coming up that are going to determine who goes to the playoffs and who stays at home. And these next couple of weeks with Geraldine and Hoax Bluff coming, huge games for the Bulldogs. I was talking with Jonathan Miller at the pep rally today. They're our reigning Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week, and just asking about beaten, banged up, and yeah, they're like everybody else this time of year in Week 8, beaten and banged up, and no more evidence of that than as they introduced the homecoming court at the pep rally today, one Raleigh Pinto with a huge brace all the way down his leg was basically escorting Savannah Smith today, and that's a great football player that they're missing right now. I mean, he's a difference maker for sure at receiver.
He is, and they're starting to put the pieces of the puzzle together offensively, and you can see that by what they're doing. And then, they thought they had the puzzle together, and then Pinto goes down with an ACL tear, and he was the king. I think he actually was their homecoming king.
I think that
It may have been, yeah.
I think he was. I saw that on social media.
He was with Savannah.
I saw that on social media.
I think that injury may happen when Miller was with us that night.
Yep.
Yes.
He was talking about how it was tough loss.
Yes, it was, and he tore his ACL. But maybe they're starting to get these other guys, because they do have a young core of kids that are going to be good players. They're very good players.
How many times have we talked about the start of the year and who they played in those opening weeks? Now, they're starting to catch their breath a little bit. And, hey, I wouldn't put it past them, maybe shock somebody down the road here with a couple big games coming up.
I wouldn't either, especially, I don't know their schedule where they're going to be, but, you always get a chance there at the Field of Champions.
Yeah. At Geraldine, Hoax Bluff is at home. Sylacauga is at home. That's a dangerous game, too, because Sylacauga's playing some pretty good football right now.
Yeah,
absolutely. Let's go back to our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden. We're going to look at the region standings now, region rundown coming up. And we're going to look at Class 5A right now. Again, 2 5A regions. Central Clay County, they were 42-0 at the half, an 8-minute running clock in the second half. Coach Smelly wanted that, as I understand it, from Sylacauga against Clay Central. They win the game 48-0. Central Clay County just establishing themselves. The first of the year, everybody assumed Clay Central would probably win this region, probably would be in the playoffs. But now, Coach, people are talking about Clay Central, talking about, can this team get to Tuscaloosa? That's what they're talking about now.
Deep down inside, and if it happens and it's close enough, I will be there if somehow Central Clay gets to go and play that team from the coast, the Gulf Shore.
Number 1.
If they get to play again.
You mean Calhoun County South?
Yeah.
That may, folks down there.
It may not. They might. Well, I won't even say that. They just.
We knew a few folks down there.
Yeah, I mean, you go to the beach and you see everybody. Hey, how you doing? But anyway, I wouldn't be surprised if that might happen, and that would be in the back of their minds. I know it's the kids are thinking they like to have a chance to play them again. But, they played Sylacauga tonight and had a great win. Sylacauga's much improved, one of the better teams ever, and they running clock. Okay.
Our director, George Smith, just said, hey, we can go have a reunion with Gerhard Mathangani down there.
Good.
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely.
Exactly right.
Class 5A Region 6 now. They're on a collision course. Southside had an open date tonight. Leeds had that win over Alexandria. Springville probably earned a playoff berth, to be honest with you, with that win over Lincoln tonight. And then, but there's a collision coming because Moody's got to play both Leeds and Southside. So they haven't played their top contenders yet in this region. But man, there's some big games coming here for the Moody Blue Devils with Southside and with Leeds. Southside will be at home. They'll travel to Homer Smiles Stadium just across the interstate to take on Leeds.
And Springville, they pulled that off tonight, wasn't it?
They won impressively over Lincoln.
Poor Namath, he's had a rough night tonight.
Talking about Namath's pitch from our before the game. His picks tonight didn't go.
I think he's had a rough night. It's not 10-0, I know that. George is probably getting on to him.
Somewhere, those top 3 teams going to be decided in the next couple of weeks of region play. Who's going to emerge as the region champion? That's 3 good teams, Moody, Southside, and Leeds. One of those is going to be on the road in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, and they're going to fight like crazy to not be on the road because they don't want to go where they're going to have to go.
We'll be back with more of high school football Alabama's after the game. More highlights. We've got our East Alabama top 10. We've got Team of the Week and more coming up.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch. The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you. But when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated.
Dedicated.
Dedicated to what moves you.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
There's a lot to think about when you're having a baby. Colors of the nursery, names, and most importantly, where to deliver.
We want a hospital that gives families a more personalized birthing experience.
With a compassionate team of doctors and nurses.
And I'm excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welberg Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden bringing you our region rundown. So we got more of those on the way. Right now they have 0% financing on new Silverados, 2.1% financing plus no payment for 90 days on new Equinox, Blazers, Trailblazers, and Traverses. Low finance rates in this day and time can save you thousands in finance charges, and you will not have a payment due until after New Year's. Team 1 Chevy, 413 East Megan Boulevard in Gadsden. Remember, they also have a full body repair shop approved by all major insurance companies. No hassle, no getting multiple estimates, and they still have the Auburn and Alabama tailgate packages to be given away in November, the week of the Iron Bowl. Back on high school football, Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. Let's tell you about our Player of the Week, Dylan Barksdale, our Farmers and Merchants Bank Player of the Week. We may not have had a more deserving Player of the Week this year. Listen at what he did against Talladega last week. He had 12 rushes for 102 yards. He had 4 catches for 127 yards, 2 kickoff returns for 105 yards. That's 334 all-purpose yards, 4 touchdowns. Also, he had a forced fumble. He had 2 interceptions. He had 2 passes broken up, the kickoff return for the touchdown, 2 rushing TDs, and he had 1 pass reception for a TD. If that's not worthy of being Player of the Week, I don't know. Chad, you were out there today at White Plains for the pep rally to present this, and you talked a lot about watching Dylan Barksdale tonight. Both of you guys saw him over there at Heflin tonight. Wow. I mean, what did he not do against Talladega last week?
Did a whole bunch. He's fun to watch. I've been able to see him because we've just been catching a lot of games over the last few years, and I've seen him kind of grow up. And he's always been that, secondary guy because the name escapes me. The kid that was their quarterback, big 34, big kid they had. So he was always kind of the secondary weapon. But now he's turned into the guy, and he is all over the field. Impressive young man.
Gets a Farmers and Merchants Bank plaque that he can put up. And also, you saw Kristen Lehman there from Team Sports with that custom-made jersey that had Barksdale on the back. Cool thing. We got one right over there behind Chad and Coach. And only 11 players in all of East Alabama are going to get that little memento, the Player of the Week jersey from Team Sports.
Not bad. Not
Every
bad.
time they get them, they all go like, wow. They just look at it like, wow, my name's on there.
Just glad I didn't embarrass my daughter today, basically. That's what it boils down to. I don't know. She was out there. Didn't make fun of
Always,
herself.
that's always, I know, Chad,
You know how it
that's
feels?
always
Yeah,
a
how it feels.
concern. Going back now, speaking of Team Sports highlights, going to take you to tonight's game. This was an important game out at Mike Robertson Stadium in 3A Region 6 between Hoax Bluff and Ohatchee.
Yeah, Hoax Bluff coming in red hot out at Mike Robertson Stadium. Winners of their last 3. They take on Ohatchee, who's been reeling a little bit after their back-to-back losses to Jacksonville and then to Geraldine. Pivotal matchup in region play tonight as we go to the highlights in Class 3A Region 6. Hokes Bluff and Ohatchee squaring off tonight. Ohatchee on offense. We're going to take the lead with Jake Robertson, who pitches it to Nathan Jones for an Indian first down. A few plays later, Colton Shields, number 32, he's going to come up with a huge fourth down stop for the Eagles. Massive play for Hokes Bluff. Ohatchee back on offense, and Jones will get the first down. A few plays later, Jones, he's going to take it again, this time going to barrel his way through a couple defenders for another first down, but trouble would strike when Robertson would take this and fumble on a 4th and 1. Big play. Coach Rob looking on. Man, he knows how to coach, and he has them back in the winner's circle later tonight. But a massive play by the Hokes Bluff defense as Shields come up with a takeaway at the 1-yard line, and then Bryce Whitaker will punch it in for the touchdown. PAT is good, and Hokes Bluff would be on top at that point. Homecoming again tonight. This homecoming is Bella Ray Lee, homecoming queen for Hokes Bluff, so congratulations to her and all the people in her circle that did the makeup, the dress, everybody, all that kind of good stuff. So congratulations to her, and congratulations to Hokes Bluff. Now, big win after big win. They are looking really strong at 5-2 on the year.
Hokes Bluff getting better every week, certainly in the thick of things as far as a playoff berth goes there in Class 3A Region 6. Let's tell you about the folks at Ron's Barbecue. Ron's tonight. Wow, we had not only those slow-cooked ribs, but we also had tonight I love those big, massive, the biggest chicken fingers around. Fantastic stuff. Dip that in a little ranch dressing
Good
tonight.
ranch, too, because ranch is not always created equal. The ranch sauce is, some is not up to par, but that's good ranch sauce, too, that they got.
Chad Barnett is speaking no more truer words talking about the ranch. He and I are on the same page about the ranch. You got to get that right, and Ron's has it right. Hey, they've got the Ron's family packs. Let me tell you, college football coming up. I know tomorrow I'm going to start at 11 a.m., and I'm going all day long watching college football. Ron's a great place. If you're going to do that, you can get 1.5 pounds of pulled pork or smoked chicken, 2 32-ounce sides, and an 8-pack of buns for only $32.99. They also have those chicken family packs, those chicken finger family packs, and they can do custom catering as well. Ron's Barbecue, Alabama Highway 144, right there in the heart of Alexandria. Time for our next Red Threads Extra Point of the night. Okay, we're talking about great individual performances, it seems, in our extra points this week. Last week, 62-36 win over Etowah. Fluff Bothwell of Aniana totaled 447 total yards and accounted for only 8 touchdowns. The senior running back's going to South Alabama. He rushed for 265 yards and 5 touchdowns on 24 carries. He caught 4 passes for 122 yards and 2 scores, and he completed the only pass he threw for 40 yards and an 8 touchdown. And then he went over to the defensive side, guys, and recorded 17 tackles on defense with 3 resulting in losses and a quarterback sack. Fluff Bothwell of the Aniana Redskins. Back with more of After the Game in just a moment.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
We live in a world that moves quickly, and while we are able to connect faster than ever through technology, maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect, a place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life, a place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ. A place to use the gifts and talents God has given you. A place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Anniston. Visit our website for details.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
After 15 years of supplying top quality, name brand sports equipment and team apparel to hundreds of Alabama schools, coaches, and athletes, and continuing to provide custom uniforms, embroidery, and screen printing, Team Sports is adding a new player. Coming soon, McClellan Sports and Outdoors. Whether you're an athlete in search of football helmets, bats, or even cleats, or an outdoor enthusiast in search of apparel from top brands, McClellan Sports and Outdoors has you covered. Visit McClellansports.com for more information.
The Coosa Valley, on the banks of the Coosa River in Gadsden, Alabama. Fishing, boating, and paddling, and home to Team One Chevrolet. Team One Chevy has been serving generations for years. Even the grandkids are grown. Come by and see why so many people come back to Team One Chevy in Gadsden.
Home of the best people, the best service, period.
Awards to Remember at awardstoremember.com, celebrating 40 years in business, one of the top 10 dealers in the Southeast for plaques, trophies, medals, all type of awards. Again, you can visit them in person as well. Their showroom, 4017 Alabama Highway 144 in Ohatchee. You can call them at 892-2500. Check them out at awardstoremember.com. They have over $100,000 in new screen printing equipment. Anything you need for your church, school, business, organization, whatever it is, Awards to Remember at awardstoremember.com. And Awards to Remember brings us our East Alabama Top 10. Guys, just not a whole lot of changes here. The biggest change will be right here at number 10. I could not drop Randolph County out of the top 10. Even though they lost tonight to Welborn, an upset loss, Randolph County stays in the top 10 at number 10. Number 9 in the East Alabama top 10, Coosa Christian. I mean, they only won 94-7 tonight against Cedar Bluff.
Enough to move up, didn't they?
Number 8, everybody kind of moving up a spot. Oxford getting ready for that big showdown with Clay Chalkville next week. Number 7, the Moody Blue Devils. Number 6, and again, Moody has not lost to anyone in the state of Alabama. Southside, these two are on a collision course right here in 5A Region 6. Number 5, the Jacksonville Golden Eagles, 58 points tonight. They're averaging 45 a game. That's going to go up considerably. Number 4 in our East Alabama top 10, Handley. Again, Handley winning big last night at Talladega. Number 3, Central of Clay County. These teams here are just kind of putting it on cruise control. They won 48-0 tonight against Sylacauga. Number 2 is the Cherokee County Warriors. Again, another team. Easy win tonight, 35-0 over Fultondale. And number 1, the B.B. Comer Tigers. And they just, I mean, they played some good football teams here recently. Thorsby had a good team. They blew them out tonight. So nobody dropped out of our East Alabama top 10. The big thing was the drop by Randolph County with the loss tonight, guys.
All right, real quickly, Jacksonville tonight, I got some stats here from Jim Ogle, and I want to go ahead and throw them out there. He was 17 of 21 for 335 yards, 5 touchdown passes. Mumford actually held them to only 40 yards rushing tonight. That's a surprise, but their defense also scored 2 touchdowns tonight for Jacksonville.
That's another day at the office for Jim Ogle, that's for sure.
Just another day.
This is going to change a little bit because Moody playing Southside. Oxford's got a big challenge coming up. You know, I don't know that anybody else really here is going to be challenged the rest of the way. Cherokee County's in control. Clay Central, Handley, Jacksonville, those kind of folks. Jacksonville and
Just
Oxford
remember,
played. Yep,
If you
they
want
play
to
each
see
other.
two great quarterbacks go at it later on, I know it's a non-region game, but it will be a barn
Mason
burner.
Mims, Jim Ogle at Golden Eagle Stadium. That's, 3 weeks, I guess, 2 weeks away. That'll be the last week of the regular season.
I think my main takeaway here is, out of the 10 that we have here, we've got 3 for sure contenders for Tuscaloosa. And then maybe one of these 2. Do you have 4? Are there more that you can see than there from this area getting to Tuscaloosa? More than 4? You think Coosa 2? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So we could potentially have 5.
And now apparently Coosa's ticked off on top of all that. So
Apparently
if they get in the playoffs.
they're mad at somebody. They're mad at somebody because they showed tonight.
On social media, you can read it. I mean, they're telling you we're back. We're coming. We're coming. If you didn't believe it before, now that you made us offer, we're coming.
Realistically,
so realistically, we could look at 5 teams
You
from
got
this
Wadley
area.
out there too.
Sure.
It's not in this top 10. And Wadley and Coosa probably are going to match up at some point. But and I think right now Coosa and Wadley, realistically, probably the 2 best 1A teams in the North. So they're going to probably cross paths at some point in time.
Still crazy we call Wadley in the North. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any geographical sense at all.
Like Jacksonville being in the South.
Exactly, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's our East Alabama Top 10 presented by Awards to Remember. It's time for our last extra point of the night, our last Red Threads extra point, another individual performance. Guys, remember this name. He's only a junior. Elba junior running back Alvin Henderson. He had 4 carries last week. We've had some, this is amazing, the performances we've had in the last week by players in this state. Last week they beat Red Level 56-14. He carried the ball 4 times for 191 yards in 4 carries. Guys, that's almost like 50 yards a carry. 3 touchdowns for his effort. His touchdown runs covered 51, 37, and 61 yards. And, he also had a 66-yard punt return for a touchdown.
And some of these guys, you don't realize they're playing both ways.
Yes, and 1A ball at Elba, absolutely.
Yes.
4 carries, 191 yards. We'll be back with more. We've got more highlights. We got highlights of the big Welborn win. We've got highlights of that win coming from Randolph County and a whole lot more, including Team of the Week.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
The Coosa Valley, on the banks of the Coosa River in Gadsden, Alabama. Fishing, boating, and paddling, and home to Team One Chevrolet. Team One Chevy has been serving generations for years. Even the grandkids are grown. Come by and see why so many people come back to Team One Chevy in Gadsden.
Home of the best people, the best service, period.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at PeeWeeTurnerMotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welberg Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
These amazing individual performances we've been bringing you on our Extra Points tonight, brought to you by Red Threads, powered by O-Brand, officially licensed JSU apparel, local high school team apparel, and custom apparel for your event or company. If you're going to the Jack State game on Tuesday, Western Kentucky will be in town Tuesday night at JSU Stadium. Go by Red Threads on the square in Jacksonville. You will love it. Great store, great atmosphere, unique Jacksonville State merchandise. And of course, they also do our Muscle Team t-shirts and our Anniston Orthopedic Score shirts. And as we said, those Young Oil Grub Mart Muscle Team shirts, they do all that as well. Red Threads, powered by O-Brand. Back on high school football, Alabama's after the game. One more game to look at highlights, and we saved the best for last tonight.
Tease you all night to give you the
Yes,
last one.
Randolph County and Welborn. We got something coming later on in the year that we're going to surprise folks with. This will be a part of that. This game will be. Let me just tell you, I was there for a big part of this game. A little rain down in Wedowee tonight during most of the first half. This was a great high school football game with a lot on the line between Welborn and Randolph County.
Yeah, not just about the win, but also about the status of the win. Last week, Welborn head coach Jeff Smith, he became the winningest coach in Welborn history, passing Hall of Fame head coach Mike Battles on the all-time wins list for the Panthers. Tonight, though, he faced off with Pat Prestridge, who is at Randolph County. A win tonight for Prestridge would make him the winningest coach in Randolph County history, passing the legendary Ron Waters. So a lot on the line for that, and a big game on the line as far as the region title race. Let's go on to the highlights and check it out as we get there. These two teams flipping the coin, and Randolph County's Wendell Winston is going to take a 28-yard touchdown PAT block. 6-0 Randolph County on this one. All right, so Coach Smith coaching them up. Panthers now on offense. Caleb McCurry, 18-yard pass from Noah Screws for a first down. Big pop on the outside there. Panthers now Jaborn Williams with an 18-yard run for a first down for the Panthers. Randolph County, though, with the ball. Amon Molden with the first down. Trucks a Panther defender. Winston back with the ball and stopped this time at the 1-yard line. Almost gets into the end zone. Great stretch. Molden, though, he would punch it in for the Tigers one play later, and that would put them on the board. So Randolph County on the board. Coach Smith walking away hoping his Panthers can answer back, and they do. Screws is going to come back. This time he's going to call his own number for the first down along the right side, getting just inside the marker. Screws with another first down run, again just inside the marker. Trouble, though, would strike as Screws would be sacked, and that'd be a negative play for the Panthers. Coach Prestridge looking on. He needs that win, just one more, but he does not get it tonight. Punt snapped over the head of the Tigers, and that's going to be a huge mistake as Welborn would take over from there, because Williams would punch it in at that time for the Panthers and put the Panthers back on the scoreboard in a battle for the ages tonight. We didn't get to see the end of it, which was the most impressive things perhaps, because I think, John, you know a little bit more about how this finish took place.
Well, here's what we were there for the first half of the game down in Wedowee. 12-8 at halftime. It was 12-0, and it looked like that maybe even Randolph County had a chance to go up 18-20-0. The turning point, I think, in the game was that high snap over the punter's head. Gave Welborn, right before the half, about a minute and a half, 2 minutes before the half, gave them the ball first and goal at the 6. They scored the next play, got the 2-point conversion run, cut it to 12-8. Then in the second half, it was back and forth, back and forth. Randolph County had the lead 25-22. Welborn scores with 2 seconds to go in the game. got the 2-point conversion. They were down 25-22, went up 30-25, and basically that was what won the football game, and a huge win for Walter Welborn because now they control their own destiny in 3A Region 4 as they've got Weaver, they've got Sachs. I think if they beat Weaver this week, I don't think it doesn't matter what they do against Sachs, they'll wrap up the region title. And that is big because there's a lot of good teams in the South, especially in Region 1, and you're going to, instead of playing one of the top teams, you're going to get maybe a number 4 team coming into your place if they can win the region title.
Yeah, so y'all telling me that everybody got their money's worth tonight?
Oh, absolutely. A little rain down there, a little bit of rain in the first half.
Those people don't care about no rain down there. And the field looks like it was holding up pretty good too.
It was.
This rained over a ½ inch, to 3/4 of an inch down there because that's where my farm's at, so I keep up with it. But it was good that game was played like that. A very close football game, kind of a region championship type game between two great teams, two great coaches and coaching staffs. I mean, that's the kind of game you want. You didn't want one, oh man, a bunch of turnovers and they get blowed out. That's the kind of game that I expected, and that's the kind of game that we got.
Old school football, the first half ended at 7:51. So it was 51 minutes to play the entire first half. Let's go now for our last look. Couple of classifications now as we go to our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden region rundown. We'll begin in Class 1A Region 6. The big game here, Wadley seems to kind of be in control of this region, but in 2 weeks, Spring Garden and Raglan will play at Spring Garden. That is looking like, right now, Spring Garden's got Donahoe next week. That is looking like that is going to be for home field advantage in the playoffs. And guys, that will be huge in the 1A playoffs if you can get that first round number 2, assuming Wadley wins the thing. If you can be home field advantage in the first round of the playoffs, that's going to be huge. And Raglan and Spring Garden look like it's going to be a big game.
That getting second place would be real huge.
Yes.
In this year.
And we're going to show you why. Because in Class 1A, as we go northward now, in Class 1A Region 7, Decatur Heritage is probably going to win that. They beat Woodville tonight. Looks like Valley Head, playing some really good football right now, will be number 2. Then you got Appalachian, Woodville, and Galesville, and Coosa Christian and Cedar Bluff. Well, Coosa Christian, just watch out for the Conquerors. They still have to play Woodville and Appalachian. They could wind up as the number 3 team. They may be at number 4. They could wind up as number 3. Watch Coosa Christian make a big rise there. It's going to be interesting because wherever Coosa winds up, if they get in the playoffs, assuming they beat Appalachian and Woodville here, this is not your typical number 3 or 4 team in the playoffs at all because they might be the best team in North Alabama.
Well, they coming.
Class 2A now. Let's look at 2A Region 4. It's all B.B. Comer, 5-0, 8-0. They've already beaten Thorsby. They've beaten Vincent. They've beaten Isabella. So now everybody else is playing for basically 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in that region. It's going to be interesting to see who comes in 4th in that region, actually. We'll see. Rambert played very well tonight. Almost beat Isabella. Now Class 2A Region 6 as we go northward. Locust Fork has been blowing everyone out. A big game, I think this is next week with Southeastern and Pleasant Valley at Southeastern. That could be, I know Pleasant Valley's had a couple of big losses the last couple of weeks, and they've got a lot of injuries, but guys, that could be for home field advantage in the playoffs. Pleasant Valley is going to be a playoff team, and that's huge, but they could even be hosting a first-round game possibly, but it'll come down to that game with Southeastern.
I don't know, but maybe this week is the week they may get some of those guys back because I knew they had a rash of injuries. And he sit right here that night and said, if we can stay healthy, we might have a chance to host a playoff game.
Coach Jonathan Nix was very prophetic. Maybe he can get those guys back. I think he had about 7 guys out. We come back. You got one more point.
Go with it. You mentioned earlier I didn't embarrass my daughter at the when I was handing out the thing. And you said you understand because you have a daughter yourself, and I believe you had somebody to accompany you tonight out on the field.
In all of these years, I didn't know this was coming, by the way, but all these years, I'm imparting all my great football knowledge to her. I got my tongue in cheek when I say
what
that.
What is she getting right here? Like,
I don't know what. Probably not much of anything.
If you really worked on it, there's a concession stand right behind you there you could have went to.
I will tell you this, though. In all these years of doing this, I've been on the video side of things for about 19 years now. I was in radio for a long time. That is the first time she's ever gone out with me shooting highlights. Okay. She's been to the studio before and things like that.
And went to Randolph County.
And we took her to Randolph County, and she, in the rain, all that kind of stuff, the mud, all those kind of things. She did a great job. But it was really special to me, to be honest with you, because in all of these 33 years I've been doing this, and about 19 years of doing the video side, she had never been out with me on Friday night and tagging along, seeing what I actually do, which is not much. But anyway, it was a special deal tonight for sure.
I'm glad she got to go, and if she'd have been with you last night, she'd have been in shape. That's one thing, just keeping up with you, running up and down the field. He circles that field 5 times. You better be running and getting ready to keep up with him.
I tell you, that's good stuff. Years ago, Duke would go with me for about a 3-year stretch. He would go with me every Friday night, and we'd go shoot the game. Sometimes I would let him work the camera, and if one of his shots got on the highlight show, I'd give him an extra $5 for working with me that night. It was always fun. So good times there, John.
Well, and the thing
I gave him $25 to carry the bag, and then if he got an extra shot, then I give him an extra $5. Right. It was his first job.
Yeah,
that's probably.
And the thing about it is, she actually indicated that she may come home from college another weekend and go out and do it again. So she didn't have a terrible time.
Nice,
well,
totally
tonight.
Take her to Oxford.
So may not be next weekend, but they got all this sorority stuff going next weekend.
Yeah.
So that won't happen there. We come back. We've got a big announcement. It's our Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week. Who's getting 2 sets of T-shirts and the Tough Guy Trophy? That's next.
After 15 years of supplying top quality, name brand sports equipment and team apparel to hundreds of Alabama schools, coaches, and athletes, and continuing to provide custom uniforms, embroidery, and screen printing, Team Sports is adding a new player. Coming soon, McClellan Sports and Outdoors. Whether you're an athlete in search of football helmets, bats, or even cleats, or an outdoor enthusiast in search of apparel from top brands, McClellan Sports and Outdoors has you covered. Visit McClellansports.com for more information.
I can't imagine life without Gwen, but we came dangerously close.
I was having chest pains.
Luckily, there was a hospital nearby that quickly discovered one of her arteries was 100% blocked. A hospital with life-saving technology and the latest in cardiac treatment, with an experienced team of doctors and nurses focused on fixing Gwen's heart. What hospital had all of that?
It was all right here at RMC.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. We live in a world that moves quickly, and while we are able to connect faster than ever through technology, maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect, a place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life, a place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ. A place to use the gifts and talents God has given you. A place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Anniston. Visit our website for details.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch. The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated.
Dedicated to what moves you.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
It's football season's Johnson's Giant Food. 5 locations to serve you in East Alabama. They're in Coldwater, they're in Jacksonville, East Gadsden, downtown Gadsden, and in Attala. It is the place to go for all your football food needs, whether it's tailgating, whether you're going to crash at the house like I'm going to do tomorrow and watch football all day long. Johnson's is the place. You can either go to their deli, which is phenomenal. They've got fried chicken, chicken fingers, chicken salad. They got all the salads and breads and everything you need. But then they also have, if you want to cook on the grill one of these weekends, like tomorrow will be a beautiful day for that. They've got the best meats in all of East Alabama. Johnson's Giant Food, your tailgate headquarters, 5 locations here in East Alabama. Team of the Week time here on After the Game. This team had a chance to go on the road and possibly get the inside track to winning a region championship. And they fell behind 12-0. They outscored their opponent 30-13 the rest of the way. A monumental win at the end of the game. They beat Randolph County 30-25. Your Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week, the Walter Welborn Panthers of Coach Jeff Smith. We're coming to Welborn next week with our Tough Guy Trophy, our Ted's T-shirts, and our Aniston Orthopedics score shirts, headed to the hill at Walter Welborn next Friday. For John Holder, Coach Michael Short, Chad Barnett, our entire hard-working After the Game crew, have a blessed weekend. We'll see you back here next Friday night at 10 o'clock sharp.
High School Football Alabama Scoreboard is a production of Fairfax Garden Media.